D. Mace Finnegan and Donick 1025 The Game, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, and David Janes here with you. Willie, Derek, and I are in here for the first time in a couple of days. The temperature has dropped by 15 degrees.
Feels so good.
The thermostat was in the mid-80s on Tuesday.
It was a scorcher in here.
It was a scorcher.
Scorcher. It ain't scorcher. It's
I'm sorry.
Yeah, scorcher. Ain't no you pronounced it like scorcher.
It's
a scorcher,
man. That's what it is. A scorcher.
It sounded too nice.
Yeah, it sounded too nice, man.
Okay.
That sounds pleasant.
Exactly.
Scorcher. That's
exactly.
heat that hits you. That's heat that hits you hard.
That sounds like it will hurt.
Yeah.
But today is the first day of high school football season.
Oh, yeah.
Connor Newt and Parker Kelly, right after our program, will host the game Blitz. I know Chase McCabe is calling a game tonight. Big Joe Dubin is doing some high school football coverage. Nick Frazier is involved. The whole station is prepared for high school football season. So it got me wondering about your first memory of high school football, Derek Mason. Care to share?
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? My first memory or my first high school game was against, we played Henry Ford, and it was my junior year. First game ever. It went down to the wire, Willie. Went down to the wire.
Set the stage.
Guess who?
Set the setting. What kind of, we call it fall night, or is this like late
it's summer? It's summer. We play in the daytime.
Kind of warm?
We play in the daytime.
Saturday morning or?
No, Friday. After school, we play.
You played after school.
Yeah, Willie.
So not Friday Night Lights. This is not under lights.
We ain't had no lights.
Well, I'm glad you said that because
Exactly.
I was picturing under the lights.
No.
That's why I'm asking.
We didn't have no lights, man. We didn't grow up like that with lights, man. You want lights, you get headlights, turn them on. We've done that before for practice. Okay. But here we go. So, no, there are no lights up. But the crowd, there's a huge crowd because it's Henry Ford versus Detroit Mumford. And going back and forth. And we're down, I think 5 or 6 points somewhere around there. And it's third and long. My man Tashala drops back. He heaves that sucker up down the right sideline. And who's out there running like a deer? Yours truly. They call me D Nice back then. Yours truly, D Nice. Bam.
My name is D Nice.
Caught it up. Bam. Fell into the end zone. And that was the start of what I was in the NFL.
Sweet.
Man. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Oh, I love that.
Remember that like it was yesterday.
D Nice. So was that when the song was out? My name is they call
one
me
of my
D-Nice?
homeboys gave me that. I didn't.
Okay.
He gave me D Fry. And I was like, I don't know. And then he said D Nice. So he went back and forth from D Fry and D Nice.
It's nice that they gave you the chance to endorse your own nickname. Sometimes
Exactly.
you just don't get to choose at all. They just start calling you stuff. And
So
you just have to take it.
absolutely.
So you started off on the right note.
Oh, absolutely. Started off on the right note. Catching the game-winning touchdown.
I did not play high school football, but I did play in the 9th grade, which kind of qualifies.
Mhm.
So my first game in the 9th grade, we were playing the Maitland Golden Hawks against the Lakeview Red Devils.
Mhm.
Lightning delay late in the game. Golden Hawks, my team, down 12-6. Got to sit on the school bus for about 30, 45 minutes. That was a real safe place to go, I'm sure.
Exactly.
In a Florida thunderstorm. Finally get to play again.
Okay.
Final drive, the Golden Hawks, quarterback Donick,
Mhm.
4th down conversion, then game-tying touchdown pass, 12-12.
There we go.
No time on the clock.
Y'all kick the field goal?
It was a 2-minute drive.
Uh-huh.
So we tied the game at 12,
Mhm.
and it's chaos,
Uh-huh.
right? It's a throw to the end zone on. We had a 4th down conversion on 3rd down. If our guy had caught the ball,
Mhm.
because it was kind of a desperation dump off, if he had caught it,
Mhm.
clock would have run out.
Oh.
Luckily, he dropped it, gave us one more play, we scored.
Did he say he dropped it on purpose?
No,
Oh.
he did not drop it on purpose. I did give him a lot of. It's like, thank you for dropping that ball. I shouldn't have even thrown it to him. But I threw a touchdown pass. That's exciting. Now we got to kick the extra point. Who's the kicker? Me.
Willie Donick.
I'm the kicker. They had the old kicking block.
Yeah,
right?
it's
You
the
could,
black
you could,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that little elevation, the block. So we're desperate. What's going on? There's chaos. It's the first game of the year. Our coach throws the block out onto the field. It bounces. We run to get it. We don't get set up. Delay a game. Then we set up the kick again.
Mm-hmm.
Another delay a game or a penalty on us again. 5 yards more back. So then the crowd's going crazy. Finally, we get it all set.
Mm-hmm.
Donna kicks the extra point from 30 yards out.
Oh, Willie.
Victory against Lakeview. So after all of the lightning delay and everything, it was quite the drama.
You had to be man on campus in the 9th grade after that one.
Oh, I was a big man on campus at that point. Big man.
All the ladies just coming out.
Darn it. Yeah. He was a lefty too. Oh, yeah. So, Adam, how about you?
Friday Night Lights, Adam.
Friday Night Lights.
Well, my freshman year in high school, we performed the Symphonic Beatles for marching band at halftime of the football
The Symphonic
games.
Beatles.
The Symphonic
I like
Beatles.
it.
What was on the playlist?
There was some Eleanor Rigby.
Yes.
I vividly remember.
Okay.
And what was your instrument?
No, let me
Take a guess.
You played. Oh, you look like a trombone person.
Nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was a damn good trombone player. First chair all city,
Absolutely.
7th grade.
You know, I was a sousaphone player
Who?
up through the 9th player, the tuba.
Oh, the tuba.
So Adam
Okay.
and I would have been chilling in the back with the
Yeah.
bass section.
I played
Right.
the sax.
I came out of football retirement to play in the 9th grade, but in 8th grade, I would have been marching right alongside Adam.
As Willie knows, all the cool dudes play brass instruments.
That's right.
All the
Amen,
hot,
amen.
all the hot girls played the woodwind instrument.
That's right. And we're sitting nowhere near them,
Well,
unfortunately.
I played the
Yeah.
baritone saxophone.
Oh, that's
Did I know how to play it really? Nope. I didn't.
I
but
can see D-Bass chilling back there. He could have hung with us.
But back then,
That's
you know,
why
you
you're
watching
so soulful because
you're
you
watching-
played the baritone
exactly.
sax.
You watching all these great sax players and whatnot. And, you know, the music is playing. They were playing throughout my house anyway, and you just felt cool with a sax, man. What is it that you can't do with a sax?
No, nothing.
Exactly.
In fact, okay, so Adam, have you taken over the playlist today?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Is
I got
Eleanor
the email.
Rigby on there? Or?
No, far from
Wow.
it.
What was the most hip song your team played? Like a contemporary song?
I don't know.
Like Eleanor Rigby's hip, but like your time, like was there a like for me it was We Got the Beat, the Go-Go's. That was awesome. Like crank up, We Got the Beat. Yeah. It was like, let's go.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. I'll have to go back in my mind.
Our drum
to
section, they pound out those drums. It was awesome.
2003, 2004. I'll think
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. Think about your fun number and let's put that on the playlist today.
Okay. But in the meantime, do you remember a couple of months ago when the NFL released its schedule
Mhm.
and that guy from the league office, Mike North, went on all of the podcasts, and when he was asked, what about the Tennessee Titans? What about Cam Ward not having any primetime games? And he said, well, you can't draft your way into primetime. Joke's on you, Mike North. Primetime tonight. Vikings, Titans, preseason.
Let's go.
Nationally televised. Take that.
They earned their way into a national spotlight game.
You can draft yourself into primetime in the preseason, is what he meant to say.
Yeah, you can do that.
But-
I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. It is what it is.
I just remember Willie's reaction to that interview. We've got the beat.
Picture the tuba section going.
We're having a little fun, people. Bear
Yeah.
with us. We're just having a little fun. It's Friday.
Reminds me of the opening of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, great
Oh,
movie.
yeah. Great movie, great
Yes.
soundtrack.
One of my favorites.
Nothing wrong with that
Yes.
movie.
As Jason in Clarksville says on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunted.com, Bill Clinton epitomized coolness on the saxophone.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah,
Our City Hall.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
They tried to make the flute cool with
Ron Burgundy
Ron Burgundy.
Playing-
It just didn't hit. It didn't hit.
playing jazz.
Yeah,
flute.
jazz flute.
Yes.
It didn't hit like it was supposed to. I don't think.
No.
Yeah. So there we go.
Woodwind instruments aren't super cool,
No.
minus the sax. You've got the flute and the clarinet and the oboe. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so up yours, Mike North, because the Titans are in prime time tonight against the Minnesota Vikings in the final preseason game of the season. Cam Ward in his final tune-up before facing the Denver Broncos on the road in week 1, a week from Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I
Or
think
2
so.
weeks from Sunday?
2 weeks from Sunday.
2 weeks from Sunday. I forgot there's like a gap, which
Mm-hmm.
that's weird. But here's the question for the two of you and all of you at 615-737-1025. And we'll take your thoughts on this throughout the show. What do you/we want to see from Cam Ward in that final tune-up before Denver in a couple of weeks? Just as a refresher, Cam Ward statistically is 7 for 15 passing, which is a completion percentage of 46.7%. He has 109 passing yards, no touchdown passes, no interceptions, and a 71.3 passer rating. I'll just start simply, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Cam Ward throw a touchdown tonight. Let's keep it simple. He hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. He's tried. He's taken his shots. I would like to see Cam Ward in his one home preseason game throw a touchdown pass. So we have a positive highlight to look at, because a lot of the plays that we've been talking about that Cam Ward has made
Mm-hmm.
have been incomplete, right? Namely, the Van Jefferson throw in the game against Atlanta last week. So I'll keep it simple. I want to see Cam Ward throw a touchdown. I would like to see him throw a touchdown. I know he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him throw a touchdown.
Yeah, that is simple. And I hope it does happen. I think it will sort of, go into the end of this off season, preseason on sort of a good note that your quarterback has thrown a touchdown. Now, granted, it's going to be against the what I want to see, because their first drives, if I'm correct, they haven't been good the last two preseasons. Uh, for whatever reason, whether it be penalty or just 3 and out, they couldn't connect. I want to see Cam put together a good drive on the first drive. It doesn't have to be a touchdown, even though, like you said, Adam, a touchdown would be great. But I want to see him lead the first drive. I want Brian Callahan to put together the first 15 as he's doing it for a game in season. So Cam can get a true idea of what he can do, what he can't, how he's going to move the offense down the field. Now, granted, some of his players may not be playing, mainly on the offensive line, but still trying to build a connection again with these young receivers that are going to play. Building that connection, because there was a fracture a little bit with Van Jefferson, but I think Van's going to be perfect. I think he's going to be all right. I'm not even worried about the drop. But if they can connect in this game, once or twice on a drive, I think that'll build up the confidence for the offense as well, because Calvin's not going to play. So that's what I want to see. It doesn't necessarily need to translate into a touchdown. It would be great, Adam. But I want to see him move this team down the field on that first drive as if it's the first drive of the Denver Bronco game.
I'm, what I'm most curious is, do they try to run some high percentage passes, some easy throws, just to feel the connection a little bit more? Or will they just do what they've been doing and just hope that it's better this time? I'm just curious about that, because the theme of the last game was, the stats didn't look good, but he took some shots down the field. And so you're feeling out, what you can do, what your receivers can do. And so if you're not worried about the results, which you really shouldn't be, then you shouldn't really care about what the stats look like tonight. But there is something to be said, I think, about having a good feeling about how your outing goes. It's basically a dress rehearsal, but you want not to be panicked at the end of the dress rehearsal. So I wonder if we'll see a little different type of play calling tonight. Just curious.
Paul Kaharski reported about an hour ago that among the Titans' notable players who will not be playing tonight, Calvin Ridley, Kevin Zeitler, Tony Pollard, Lloyd Cushenberry, J.C. Latham, Tavondre Sweat, Tajay Spears, and L'Jarius Sneed, which means I believe Jeffrey Simmons intends to play tonight, which is a rarity for Jeffrey Simmons to play in the preseason. A couple of texts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHundy.com. One texter says, a Cam Ward 30-yard rushing touchdown incoming. That would be nice, but
I don't want him to run.
I am not going to pick that on Take It to the Bank at the end of the show.
It is notable in my mind that he hasn't run at all, right? He hasn't tried to run. He's scrambled and threw the ball out of bounds. I don't think he's run right? Not
No,
not once.
I don't think he has either.
And I don't think he's really taken any hits at
No.
all, right? Which is fine. That's what you kind of want
Mhm.
in the preseason. And I am looking forward to seeing what he does in utilizing his legs, his mobility when the real games start. Because we did see with Will Levis, not only was he willing to run, but he ran recklessly and he got himself hurt.
Yeah, I don't think Cam is that type of quarterback. I think he's going to try to stay in the pocket, or if he has to scramble, or if he has to get outside the pocket, he's going to try to buy enough time to get the ball down the field. Now, I think he will run if he needs to, if he understands the game in the moment, and he will run. But I think his first inclination is to listen. I'm gonna drop back and I'm gonna throw the football. I'm not trying to run, because the way the offense is geared and built, everything should come out of your hands very quickly anyway. So you shouldn't have to scramble or feel the need to run, a lot during a game. Now, some games you may have to run, but I think this offense is built for the quarterback to stay in the pocket.
Wes in Clarksville says, I want to see Cam play until halftime. He needs playing time. I don't know what the plan is. I imagine it's the same plan as the previous 2 preseason games, at least 2 series. Cam Ward did play a 3rd series against the Falcons last week, but unless I missed it, I believe the plan is the same. Although I do wonder if, since it's the only home preseason game and Cam Ward hasn't played a game at Nissan Stadium, they did the practice at the stadium. He also did make an appearance at the Savannah Bananas game when they were in town, but he hasn't played a game at Nissan Stadium. So I wonder if maybe the coaching staff gives him an extra series for the home crowd. I don't know.
A part of me does want him to play into halftime, because I think he needs the reps. I think, and another reason is this: as much as we talked about Jeff and how he's not a leader or questioning his leadership at times, he's choosing to play. He's like, I want to play. They didn't say he had to play. He said, I want to play it. From the article that he said, I want to play the last game. And he's playing. Now, how many snaps he plays, I don't know. But when one of your guys that really don't have to do it say, I want to play in this last game, then I think you should look at the quarterback position and, base it on how the game goes, and not, I've already scripted you're going to play, a quarter, or you're going to play 3 series. No, allow the game to sort of dictate when you pull them, or if you keep them in longer.
Quickly, let's go to Jared in Spring Hill on our phone line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Jared, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
I'm right there with you, Adam. I just want to see something simple, and that's, can we throw a touchdown? And this is bigger picture with me, because, again, Cam Ward came in, he gets all this hype, but yet he hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. His numbers are marginal at best. He didn't really do all that much in college. He wasn't in the ACC championship, kind of in the Heisman race. Historically, his numbers were okay. And it just seems like in every situation, in every scenario, he gets the benefit of the doubt. What does this guy earn to get the benefit of the doubt jumping out of the gate as a rookie, and he's not even throwing a touchdown in 2 preseason games? I mean, it just kind of gets me worked up that everybody is just so certain that this pick is going to work out. And I haven't seen it yet, so I would love to see the Titans show me something to believe in tonight, notably throwing a touchdown. And Callahan needs practice scheming some stuff up too.
Thanks, Jared.
D-Mass,
Jared.
it's only 5 series, so
Yeah.
let's not. I don't worry about the stats.
And the Titans,
at all.
by the way,
I'm not worried about the touchdown pass either. I would like to see some good things, etc. But did you guys scheme in preseason games?
No, we didn't. We were. It was almost as if like we were calling plays. It was like to see what works, not necessarily because they're playing vanilla defense, and we're just working on some things that we may use and we may not use. But it ain't like we schemed like for them. No, you figure these are the plays we're gonna run regardless of what defense they play, and we're gonna go from there.
615-737-1025. The Titans, by the way, in Cam Ward's 5 preseason series have scored 1 touchdown. That was a Tony Pollard touchdown in Tampa.
So I don't. Do we really care if it's a touchdown pass?
No,
as long as they score,
right. I'm just adding context. But
no, that's worth pointing out. It's not like they haven't scored a point, right?
Right.
They do have a touchdown drive in there. I wonder how many teams do scheme. Like the last point that he made, do you scheme to help your quarterback look good? I do believe. I'm not. I don't. It's not a believe. I was told that when Vince Young was struggling, and he did go through some struggles, that they schemed preseason games for him to help him look good for confidence, etc. Because he struggled so badly when they didn't
Mhm.
scheme.
But typically it's just I'm sorry, Adam. But typically it's we get, the plays for the week. It's plays that we have been working on in camp anyway. We get it, and these are the plays that we're gonna run. We're gonna see if they work. We may watch a little film of who we're going against, but very minimal because we're watching practice of ourselves. But we're not game planning and say we got to do this against this guy. No, we're not game planning for that. It's because it means nothing to us.
615-737-1025. Titans versus Vikings tonight at Nissan Stadium. What do you want to see from Cam Ward in his final tune-up before the real games begin in Denver against the Broncos in week 1? 615-737-1025. Our phone and text lines are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Later today on ESPN 94.9 The Fan, the Nashville Sounds take on Louisville at First Horizon Park. First pitch is at 6:35. Coverage is also available on the Game Nashville app and at theGameNashville.com. Sounds Baseball on ESPN 94.9 The Fan is presented by Twin Peaks and Family Leisure.
Let's tell you about F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. It's Friday. This is the last, if you will, preseason game for our Take It to the Bank before the real deal starts. We got underdogs next week as well. And yes, the Take It to the Bank season will start next Friday on DVD. Defending champion Derek Mason. We've closed the loopholes. This is going to be a much better competition this year. He will not run away with it. I am going to take the title, and it's brought to you by F&M Bank. Banking made easy on purpose. I've told you about the Smart Swipe card, a great example of the things they do to try to simplify and get you into good habits with your finances. They have a Smart Swipe debit card that rounds up to the nearest dollar every time you make a purchase. So if your purchase is $15.50, they'll round it up to $16. They'll put the 50 cents in your savings account. And so every time you use your card, you're going to be saving money. It will accumulate. You're in good habits. They've got a lot of tools like that. Just find the nearest location to you, myfmbank.com. That's myfmbank.com, and tell them we sent you here on 102.5 The Game. It's F&M Bank. We take it to the bank tonight at 5:45. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Nashville's best deal of the week is Bavarian Beer House, conveniently located at Opry Mills Mall. Enjoy beer, food, music, and fun at Nashville's only authentic German beer hall, where it's Oktoberfest every day. Head to thegamenashville.com/deals now to get a $50 gift card for only $25 to Bavarian Beer House while supplies last. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan here with you. The Titans preseason finale, is upon us. Titans versus Vikings tonight at Nissan Stadium, a nationally televised preseason game. It's on CBS. The question for all of you at 615-737-1025, what do you want to see from Cam Ward in his final tune-up before Denver? Let's go to Rick on our phone line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Rick, thank you for waiting. Please go ahead.
Well, I didn't have to wait that long, guys. Thank you so much. Either way, I think it depends on the offensive line. I think that our twos are probably going to be playing against their twos, hopefully. And if they can give Cam decent protection, I think that maybe they'll play him maybe at least half of one quarter or maybe the whole quarter. I think if he gets chased around a bit, they'll yank him. That's my thoughts, and they should.
Thank you for the call, Rick.
Thank you. I mean, he has a point there. That's why I said, don't go in saying we only going to play you, 2-3 series or a quarter. Let the game dictate it. If you feel that he's getting good protection up front and he's able to go through his progressions, then, keep him out there a little bit longer. If you see for whatever reason he's getting chased around, you yank him, you pull him. And tell them, hey, we got 2 weeks before the start of the season. We get you up to speed.
I want to go back to the call from Jared in Spring Hill in the first segment, talking about Cam Ward. He said a couple of things that I want us to discuss. He talked about, one, Cam Ward getting the benefit of the doubt when it comes to his poor statistics in the preseason. For those who track his 11-on-11 and 7-on-7 snaps in practice, those numbers I don't think were sparkling at the beginning of training camp. I don't know what they are now because I don't really care about his completion percentage in practice. But Cam Ward getting the benefit of the doubt. The other thing that Jared in Spring Hill said is Cam Ward came in with so much hype. I thought that was part of the whole Cam Ward story, is that he had no hype from the moment he was drafted. Remember, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward out of Miami. Cut to ESPN. Hey, Cam Ward. So Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about him for the next 10 minutes.
Right.
That was the whole thing. That Cam. I've honestly, tell me if you guys get the same vibe. Honestly, the national NFL media has. I feel like they've been trying to make up for lost time talking about Cam Ward over the past couple of weeks. After essentially ignoring him in April, in May, in June, I would say in the month of August, and I guess July. In the month of August, it's been Cam Ward, Cam Ward, Cam Ward. Like, since Shedeur Sanders is fourth on the depth chart in Cleveland, they want to focus on the quarterback who's actually going to start at the beginning of the season. But let's start with the Cam Ward getting the benefit of the doubt. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't think, but I get, people having, their opinion or looking at it a little bit different. I don't think he's got the benefit of the doubt, at least not for me. I just see the team for what it is. And we talked about this yesterday. Like, sometimes the numbers are not going to be indicative of how the guy is playing. If you watch the game and watch it from a lens of what they're trying to do, how they're trying to do it, did he read it correctly? Was the receiver in the position, or did he put the ball in a position where the receiver could have gotten it? These are all how is he managing the pocket? These are all the things that you're looking for. I don't give a damn about a stat in preseason. It's nice. It's nice to see. I'm sure in New York, the Jackson Dart, he's ripping it up. I know it's nice to see. And some of these other quarterbacks, Tyler Shaw, I think he may be ripping it up too. It's nice to see. It's great. But then when you go back on and turn on the film, what are you seeing? That's all that I care about. And what I've seen from Cam, I've watched both games, all 22, just like they watch it, and I know how to watch it. He played better than what his numbers suggest. Now, listen, in the big scheme of things, it's like, man, you got to move the ball down the field. I get it. But if you're just looking at the quarterback and how he's progressing and how he's developing, you can see it's there. Now he needs to take another step, and it needs to look good tonight. And make no mistake about it. But what I'm seeing, I'm encouraged by. I'm not looking at him like, man, we're in for it. No, I'm encouraged by the things that I'm seeing from him.
What were Jaden Daniels' stats in the preseason last year?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
I can try to find
That's
them.
why I'm bringing it up. I don't care. Do you care?
Not really.
Do you care?
No, I don't
No.
care.
Now, if you're curious, I'm sure. And Adam right now is going. He's pulling them up. But whether they're good or not, it didn't matter, right? I don't think it mattered to Washington. We can look up C.J. Stroud's 2 years ago. I don't really care.
Caleb Williams.
It doesn't matter. It's what the coaches are seeing. The
Mhm.
preseason stats, the results, don't care. I will ask this again to those who didn't hear me ask it earlier this week. Have you ever made a fantasy draft pick in your league based on how the numbers went in a preseason game? Like, you might notice that a guy's getting a lot of carries, like a running back or something like that. You say, well, this guy's getting some carries. But whether he ran for 50 yards or 100 yards or that's not that important, because a lot of the guys that are putting up the quote numbers in the preseason games are guys playing an entire half against 2s and 3s in a lot of cases. It's usually not an indicator of how the person's going to do in the regular season.
It appears that Jaden Daniels completed 12 of 15 passes in the preseason. Last year, he had a passer rating of 100.8.
Ooh.
I don't see a touchdown throw. No touchdowns. 12 of 15, 0 touchdowns.
Okay.
Well, he did well.
CJ Stroud in 2023. Hold, please.
He's going in his bag right now.
Hold on. CJ Stroud. Where is it? Come on, Stroud. Where you be?
Computer. That is computer.
I don't see
Adam's
him. Did he not
brains.
play in the preseason?
He really did. I
I'm not
remember them
sure.
taking him out. It was what you were saying.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
didn't-
here he is. 11 for 20. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Okay.
A passer rating of 62.3.
All right.
So you have one that played
So
well,
there's two.
one that didn't.
The two best rookie quarterbacks in the last however many years. One played pretty well. One didn't play very well.
Yeah.
If you only look at the stats.
Yes.
Now, we're not going by what they showed on tape or not showed on tape, right? But it turned out pretty well. So don't go by the stats.
Jared from Spring Hill has chimed back in to follow up.
Oh,
He
boy.
says, if none of this matters, then get rid of the preseason. It has to matter, especially for a team that has won 9 games in 3 years.
JJ
Something has
McCarthy
to
isn't
matter.
playing tonight. He's never played in an NFL game. He's not playing tonight. So they clearly don't think it matters.
The NFL teams, Jared, I believe me, I get what you're saying. But NFL teams don't care about the preseason. They don't. Why do you think guys don't play? Guys do play. They want to set their roster. Yes, they want to know what that back end, that bottom end of the roster looks like. So, preseason is really for them. That's why you see so many teams now doing these, practicing against another opponent during camp, because they don't want their guys out there playing in the game, because they don't want, open them up to any injury. So I understand the premise of what you're saying. I really do. But the NFL don't care. If the NFL could wipe away preseason and still get their money from the gate, they would. If they can add 2 games to the regular season and do away with the preseason, they would do it in a heartbeat. So they don't care about it. And the players, the whole preseason is about developing. It's not just the games are like cherry on top. That's what the games are. It's like cherry on top. You get to show what you learned throughout the week. But it's the week. It's the days leading up in training camp to the opening game of the season.
And also keep in mind that Titans fans are still reeling from the Will Levis experience. And there are Titans fans who say, hey, this time last year, the Titans were pumping Will Levis's tires. He was going to be great. The hype was huge. And then Chicago happened. Maybe, just maybe. And look, Titans fans, I know you are a long-suffering lot. Remember the sports misery index from last week? Top 10? I know that you are a suffering lot. you haven't had much success recently, especially at the quarterback position. But maybe, just maybe, Will Levis and Cam Ward are two totally different people with two totally different levels of talent. This is not to say that Cam Ward's going to be the next Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud, but I think we can all agree that Cam Ward is a more talented player than Will Levis. So I understand if Titans fans are scarred from what happened a year ago, but I think it's important to try to separate the two as best you can. 615-737-1025. Our phone and text lines are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We will continue to take your thoughts on Cam Ward, his preseason finale tonight at Nissan Stadium against the Minnesota Vikings. 615-737-1025. But coming up next, we're going to discuss the other most important questions that still need answers as roster cuts approach in a matter of days. 615-737-1025. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Bingham, 1025 The Game.
Happy Friday, everyone. Derek Mason here. And if you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, go to lawtigers.com for your free case evaluation. Even if your accident was months ago, you have nothing to lose by calling Law Tigers. Insurance companies want to pay out as little as possible, or better yet, nothing at all. Law Tigers make sure you get the compensation you deserve and doesn't get paid until your case has been settled. They understand how much your bike gear is worth to you and will help you get it all repaired or better yet, replaced. Law Tigers is the resource the motorcycle community turns to when in need. So whether it's to support you at an event or if they see you broken down on the side of the road, with Law Tigers, you'll never ride alone. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is powered by Freeman and Fuson, and you can find them in Nashville, located at 2126 21st Ave South. Law Tigers, Tennessee's motorcycle lawyers.
This fall, live at the Pinnacle at Nashville Yards, Tim McGraw will perform at Trinetics' Rock the Cradle. This event is sure to be a great time celebrating a great cause. Proceeds from the event will support newborns and moms at Ascension St. Thomas Midtown. Get your tickets now at rockthecradlenashville.org. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan here with you, talking Cam Ward Titans preseason finale tonight against the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in Neil from Nashville. Neil, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Hey, thank y'all for taking my call. How y'all doing today?
Good.
D-Mace, man,
Yes.
lifelong Titans fan. You are amazing.
Thank you.
So, and I do have a dad joke if you want to hear.
Go ahead. Give it to us.
An early dad joke on Friday.
Exactly.
Did you hear about the rainbow that got arrested?
No.
Yeah, it went to prison, but don't worry, it received a light sentence.
Prism.
That's a good one.
I see what you did there.
That's a
Neil.
good
Very
one.
nice.
Would that go over kids' head though?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would
for sure.
go over.
Unless
Yeah,
you've been
absolutely.
studying the
Oh, no.
colors of the rainbow.
Exactly, absolutely. But I like it.
Roy G. Biv.
No,
Roy G. Biv, our good buddy.
I just wanted to talk about the quarterback situation,
Mhm.
Sure.
especially about Levis. Levis, and looking at his shoulder in that picture, you know, he's having surgery. He played with a pretty bad shoulder last year, and the offensive line was hot garbage. I didn't want Cam Ward. I do think Jackson Dart will be the better NFL quarterback. I think he's quick, getting the ball out, but I do want Ward to succeed. I'm just ready for us just to pull the trigger and get some weapons and get some wide receivers in here, get some dogs, get some D Maces. I'm tired of mediocrity football, but I think Levis will end up being really good somewhere down the road. I think, man, I don't hate Will Levis, man. I just thought he kind of got handed a raw deal in his first NFL season. So, Cam Ward, good luck to you, brother. We're praying for your safety, and I'm praying that you can get us to the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Titans fan, true blue, and I just want our team to be good. But I think it's time for us to start getting some really good wide receivers in here. Start moving them chains, baby. Tighten up.
Thanks for the call, Neil. I think Neil speaks for a lot of Titans fans who may not have loved the selection of Cam Ward based on all of the pre-draft analysis.
Mhm.
However, those same fans are rooting for Cam Ward because deep down, they're Titans fans. I think Neil is like a lot of Titans fans.
And rightfully so. I mean, that's how you may not like every player that your team draft, but you want your team to succeed. So you're rooting for those players to do that. I mean, whether he's better than Jackson Dart or not, I just want him to be the best version of himself and to help the Titans be a better team or the best version of who they are. They got a long way to go, and in particular, the receiver position. I like Calvin Ridley. I think he's more so, and we've talked about this before, Willie. I think he's really just 2 more years, at most. And that may enter him into the new stadium. It may not, but they need one of these rookies or both of them to really start taking steps toward, fighting for real playing time, not garbage time. I mean, talking about playing time when it's 3rd and 7 and they're putting their best players out there. They should get to a point where the coach is not hesitating and grabbing one of those rookies and throwing them out there. Why? Because they've proven themselves. They're developing. I like the receiving core. The bottom half, I mean, the back half do need to, prove themselves in this league. I think Van Jefferson is a good receiver. Again, he's taken so much flack, and I don't think it's fair. I think he is a good receiver. Is he a number 1? No. Is he a number 2? He can be. But right now, he's a receiver that can give you some production out there, and that's what you need for your young quarterback. So, yes, they do need to, that group needs to play better, but more in particular, those 2 rookie guys, they need to start pushing those veteran guys.
He was talking about we need some dogs.
Yeah.
I still believe that the overwhelming odds and history will tell you that the only way you get the dogs is if you have the picks, right? You do it through the draft. You can't just go get dogs. They're just not out there in the grocery store to be bought. And it was proven a couple years ago when they spent over $100 million or whatever they did in free agency. You just aren't getting dogs that way. You might get a couple of good players, the right guy, and what they're hoping for this year with Dan Moore, he's really not a dog. They're overpaying. They're paying him like he's a dog, but they're overpaying to get an upgrade from awful to steady, right?
Yes.
That's the idea. That's what you get in free agency. Like, good teams are looking for that last guy to put them over the top, but you got to get the draft pick. So this is going to take time to surround Cam Ward with dogs.
Yeah, it will. And what you're hoping is, again, you're hoping that one or both of these rookie guys show promise, and I mean real promise. And then you can go back into the draft the next following year, and you can find maybe get a receiver in the second round, depending on how those rookies did this year. If they show that they're ready to go, then you may not have to go in the first round and get a receiver. You may pick up one in the second round, but if they don't show that they're ready, you're going to be forced into drafting a receiver first round, because the one thing you got to have for your young quarterback is a young, developed receiver that can grow with him. Right now, they have two, and that's why I'm saying those two guys need to push the veterans for significant playing time.
Chris on our text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com, says, you play in the preseason the way you're going to play in the regular season. Tell me what the excuse will be if Cam Ward doesn't play well after the Denver game.
There's not going to be an excuse. I'm not looking for excuses to make for Cam Ward. If he doesn't play well, he doesn't play well. I'm going to say that. If there are things that I've seen within the game after I watch it and it tells me something different, then I'm going to say, I didn't like the way he played, but after looking at the film, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. That's if he plays bad. I'm not going into this thinking if he plays bad. I think the kid, he's going to play like a rookie. However that is, he's going to play like a rookie at times, and he's going to look like a veteran at times. I don't care if it is one of the best defenses in the National Football League. What people got to understand is that first game of the season is critical for everybody, because the thing about this one is, and I've said this before, you have no film on Cam Ward. You can't go by the preseason stuff. You have no film on this young man. But you know what? We got all the film on your guy and your defense. That may be an advantage for us going into the Denver game.
I do have a trivia question for the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
What was the combined regular season record of the 2008 Detroit Lions and 2017 Cleveland Browns? The combined regular season record.
Those are the 0-32, right?
Yeah.
That's the
0-32.
0-16s. Yeah.
What were the combined preseason records of the 2008 Detroit Lions and the 2017 Cleveland
Well, I know
Browns?
the Lions were 4-0 or 3-0.
8-0.
8-0.
8-0. Both
Right.
teams went 4-0 in the preseason, went 0-16 in the regular season.
That's an even better example of the one I was thinking. I was a teenager, moved to Florida, Orlando. Our teams that we got every Sunday were the Buccaneers and the Dolphins. The Dolphins, of course, Don Shula, Dan Marino. That was a whole different thing. The Buccaneers had a decent run. Remember with Doug Williams? They were pretty good. Doug Williams defected to the USFL and played for Woody Woodenhofer, of all people. That's a whole nother story. But the Bucs didn't have him because of a contract dispute. If you look at Doug Williams' biography on NFL Films, check that out sometime on NFL Network. The Bucs, it was one of many, many pitfalls the Bucs fell into. But they went 4-0 in the preseason that year. And they were like, we don't need Doug Williams. We got the throwing Samoan. We got Jack Thompson. That's what he was known as, the throwing Samoan. And if that doesn't work, we got Jerry Goldstein. And the Bucs went 1 and whatever. They were terrible. I think they lost their first 10.
Jerry Goldstein.
They're like, 4-0 preseason, huh? Okay.
Jerry Goldstein. Is Jerry Goldstein a quarterback or an accountant?
Exactly.
He might have been an accountant in the offseason. He could have been.
Jerry Goldstein. Got
Let's
a speeding ticket? Call Jerry Goldstein.
take a look at the Bucks season that year. The throwing Samoan Jerry Goldstein's numbers. That'll be
You want to fight that
amusing during
parking
the
ticket?
break.
Call
Yeah.
Jerry Goldstein.
As you're looking that up, Dustin in Hopkinsville says, man, just go out there and give it your best. Enough of this savvy, trying things out crap. Play ball. Be a damn man. Impress us with your best. We don't have time for theatrics or word salad. Be a man.
Be a man.
Dustin says, be a man.
Be a man, Titan. Was he talking about us or was he talking about the Titans?
I think he was talking about Cam Ward.
Oh, Cam Warren.
Be a man.
Be a man. Just go out there.
Be a man. Like from Mulan.
Go out there and just
Nobody?
win. No, you.
I enjoyed that.
I
one.
think you got it. Yeah.
One of us got it. Two of us got it. Oh boy.
The 83 Bucks
Okay.
went 0-9 out of the gate when they let Doug Williams hold out and didn't sign him.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Willie was still thinking about the Bucks.
I thought
yeah.
you guys were. I was very curious about Jerry.
Yeah,
Goldstein
he was
and
very
Jack
curious
Thompson.
about Jerry
But
Goldstein.
think about passing on. But this is again
Yes.
to illustrate how insignificant the record
Exactly.
of the preseason, especially the record. But the stats, so same much. But
Didn't the
old
Lions
Jerry,
go
Jerry
like?
went 0-3 as a quarterback.
Didn't the Lions go like 2 preseasons in a row without losing a game, or is that Baltimore? I think Baltimore. They were on a.
They were on a 21 or 22 game.
Yeah, that was Baltimore.
Preseason
Yeah.
win streak.
Yeah, until last season. They lost last season.
Those dang Commanders. Yeah.
Mhm.
615-737-1025. Since we didn't get to it in this segment, we're going to move it to the next segment. What are the most important questions that still need to be answered by the Titans as roster cut down day approaches? I want to say it's Tuesday.
Yes.
So
they have it down by Tuesday.
So just a few days left. A lot's going to change on the Titans roster between now and Tuesday. What are the most important questions that still need answers from the Titans from a roster perspective? You let us know as well at 615-737-1025. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Bingham, 1025 The Game. D. Mace Fingan and Donick 1025, the game, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, and David Janes here with you. During the break, we were huddling, we were discussing, we were planning, we were plotting. We are still trying to confirm the details for silly underdog picks. Some of you have texted in asking about silly underdog picks. Yes, silly underdog picks will return for season 31. Willie, is that correct? Because
Correct.
last year was the Pearl anniversary,
So
the
what
30th anniversary.
What is this year?
There is
it's not.
no.
It's no anniversary.
There
for
is no anniversary.
Well, let's just think 31. I think of Dave Winfield. Who are some
Okay.
other great 31s?
Kevin Byard.
Kevin Byard.
Ah,
I think for the local tie, that would be it.
local
I don't
tie,
know.
yeah.
Battier.
Shane Battier.
Shane Battier.
That's my vote.
yes.
I figured. Thanks a
I
lot,
knew that
David,
would be-
for reminding him.
You're welcome.
The Shane Battier anniversary of silly underdog picks. Here's our tentative plan, and we are still forming the roster of who will be participating. The plan is Wednesdays at 5:20. That is the plan for silly underdog picks. Our plan is to also have a people's pick as we did last year. And if the people's pick wins, you will win a prize of some sort. And they're usually pretty good. So silly underdog picks starting next week. The plan is Wednesday at 5:20. We wanted to make sure that Chris Sanders could defend his title.
Yes.
Chris
See how we
Sanders has won
capitulating
multiple
to Chris?
titles in the midday time slot. So this is his chance to do it in prime time.
Should I hit the bell? Was that a big word?
What word?
I said capitulating to Chris.
Capitulating. Yes.
There
Boom.
we go. Boom.
Can I get the definition, please?
The country of origin.
yeah.
Can you use it
And,
in a sentence, please?
Can you use it in a sentence? I just
Um,
used it in a sentence.
Yes. Also, Matthew in Nashville
Uh-huh.
wanted to know when Ask D-Mace is. That's at 5:00.
Yes.
So 1 hour from now, if you've got a question for Derek,
Bring it.
615-737-1025. All right. We'll still take your reaction on Cam Ward, but I want to ask Willie and Derek this question. What is the most important question that still needs to be answered by the Titans roster-wise as cut down day approaches in 4 or 5 days? And I don't know if this is less of a roster question, like who's going to make the team, because the player I'm thinking of is absolutely going to make the team. But here was my question as I was thinking about this myself. Whose starting job is more at risk? Chigakonkwo or Van Jefferson? Because I think both of them will start the season as the starters in their respective roles. But Alec Iamaner has been getting a lot of work in the preseason. He looks like a rookie. He's made his mistakes. But I think from what I've read from Titans practice, Titans coaches are pleased and are hopeful from what they've seen hopeful about what they've seen from Alec Iamaner. And I have been incredibly impressed with Gunnar Helm in the preseason. PFF notes that he has the highest PFF grade among tight ends with more than 10 snaps in the preseason. He also has hauled in all 5 of his targets, including a pair of contested catches. Of course, the touchdown grab last week in Atlanta. So I think Chigakonkwo will start the season as tight end 1. My question is there a chance that Gunnar Helm takes that job from him sooner rather than later? That's my question.
If he's better than Chigakonkwo, that's such a good thing. I would love to, because Chigakonkwo, for all of his faults,
He's a good player.
he's
Just
not a
can't-
bad player. He's okay. He's not a guy that moves the needle. But if Gunnar Helm was better on day 1 of his rookie year, that's a good sign.
Here's because I'm thinking about past offenses, whether it was Zach Taylor's offense or now where Brian Callahan is running. Did they feature the tight end much? I'm trying to, because you get so caught up in the 2 receivers, Higgins and Jamar Chase. I don't know how they use their tight end in their offense. Because if it's just they sort of get in where they fit in type of thing, then okay, but if they're going to use these tight ends, they're going to be a pivotal part of what they do from an offensive standpoint. I can see more sets with Gunnar Helm and Chigakonkwo in the game together. It depends on how, because they were high on this group at the beginning of camp. They haven't done anything to sort of persuade me to think that they all collectively won't have a good season. Now, Josh Wiley, he may be the odd man out in this scenario. Then again, he may not be. But I think Chig and Gunnar, I think that gives you a good 1-2 because I think they're different in what they can accomplish on the field. I think Gunnar Helm is that guy. You send him up the middle of the field, you expose the middle of the field. Some teams use that big body of his. And Chig can do the dirty work in the middle. Not to say that Gunnar Helm can't do it, but I think to me, Gunnar Helm is a red zone guy. He's going to get you in the middle of the field and he's going to beat you in the red zone. Chig is more so doing the dirty work and getting his, here and there when being in the red zone. So it just depends on how they want to use these tight ends this year.
I think I'm still looking at edge rushers. Like, is there any hope that they can get some semblance of a pass rush without exotic blitzing and high risk? This is part of the scheme. They're gonna blitz, but there's got to be times where you get a pass rush without confusing the offense. You're just not going to confuse the offense every time. You've got to have somebody who can win some battles. I'm still looking for that, and I'm not sure I'm seeing it. But that's a big question.
Derek, what about you?
There's two positions that it's the linebackers and the defensive backs. The defensive backs because of L'Jarius Sneed. Will he be back for their first game? He's back practicing. He's off the PUP. But which version of L'Jarius Sneed are we going to get? It seems like they're putting all their eggs in that basket because they didn't do anything. And we talked about this yesterday with Chad. They didn't do much at that position to address it. I understand why, because they had so many other holes they were trying to fill. But I think they are banking on L'Jarius Sneed being, he doesn't have to be what he was in Kansas City, even though that would be great, but not what he was last year. That's what they don't want. One, they want him to stay healthy. But they didn't address that position like I thought they maybe should have. So the cornerback position and then the linebacker position, I think Cedric Gray has played well in camp. He's played well in preseason games. The only thing that concerns me about him is he's small. He's a small linebacker. So he's quick. He can get around blocks. But when you're asking him to take on, those guards or those centers, pulling and getting at him, can he do that consistently? That's the part. But he's a hell of a player. So that linebacker position, I don't think he's going to upseed Cody Barton. But I think as the season goes, if he's showing what they believe he can show, I think he will be pushing for more playing time.
Ricky on our text line answering my question, which projected starter on offense should be more concerned about their starting position, Van Jefferson or Chigakonkwo? Ricky says, Van for sure. I would cut him. And you know what, Ricky? On most other teams in the NFL, Van Jefferson probably would be cut within the next few days, but the Titans don't have a lot at receiver. So he found the right place for him. As Willie Donick has termed Titans wide receivers,
the land of opportunity.
It is the land of opportunity. So I don't think Van Jefferson's getting cut, Ricky. Wrong team.
Yeah, and I think the real competition is it's Van Jefferson versus Io Manor / DK / the top cuts, the top wide receivers who are cut around the league, because the very, very best wide receiver who gets cut could be a Titan with the snap of a finger.
Mm-hmm. So just because you're on the roster don't mean you're going to stay on the roster. But, I mean, yes, of course, you want one of these young guys, or if not both, these young guys to really push, those guys that are starting now and challenge them for playing time. Van Jefferson, again, I know people are knocking him because of the pass he dropped. He's a solid pro. in theory, do you want him as, your starting receiver alongside, Calvin? You would probably not. He's better suited, I think, as, a 3. But I still believe he can go out there and get the job done. The guy is not a bad player. He's not too far removed from having a damn near close to 1,000-yard season. He started to go downhill, I think, after that injury. He just never seemed to be himself again. But I think he's a good receiver.
Since that season in Los Angeles, where he had 802 receiving yards and 6 receiving touchdowns, the Titans will be his 4th team since then, because he stayed with the Rams, then went to the Falcons, then to the Steelers, and now to the Titans. Over those 4 seasons, he started 30 of 45 games. He has 68 catches for 854 yards and 5 touchdowns. So he hasn't done much since his career season. Let's go to Adam from Portland on our phone line, driven by Wilson County, Hyundai.com. Adam, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Adam, what's up, man? Hey, I wouldn't bench Chig, but I would consider starting Gunnar Helm quick, because I think it would set a good precedent for your team. Like, if you show out, you have a chance to start. That's what happens on sorry teams, man. Like, there's more opportunity. And I kind of want you guys to kick this around, if you would, Adam, because I did it with you guys last year, and I really liked it. If you were head coach of the Broncos, how would you beat the Titans? What would you do on offense? What would you do on defense to beat the Titans?
Thanks for the call, Adam. Derek, why don't you answer that question first?
Are we really going there? We still have a couple
We
weeks.
got like 10 weeks, don't we? No.
Okay, you don't have to.
I haven't started watching
Exactly.
film on the Broncos yet.
Fine.
If
Adam.
from a defensive standpoint, a rookie quarterback, you want to blitz him. You want to give him as many looks as possible, blitz him, try to confuse him. That's what I would do. Will it work? I don't know. Atlanta tried to do it to Will Levis, and he got 4 touchdowns put on him. Whoever played Mario to try to do it to him, they got 4 touchdowns put on him. So you just can't, even though that's what I would try to do, it may not work. From a offensive standpoint, I go with the secondary. I test the secondary, and see if they can hold up. See if Snead is playing, see if he can hold up. That's what I would do.
I think Denver is going to play Denver's defense.
Yes. So
I don't know that they're going to necessarily feel like they have to do anything crazy. They'll just play their system and say, well, let's see if the kid can beat us. I think that's what's going to happen.
How about the other question that Adam, or the other statement that Adam had, which was he would start Gunnar Helm as a sign to the team?
I would challenge back. I'd push back and say, what's the rush? There's time. If he's good, it's going to work itself out, right? Even if the opening day starter is Chig, I want the natural. It will be very apparent when it's time, but you don't just force it. You got time.
Yeah, I mean, Gunnar Helm, as he's been okay, but he hasn't done anything that just made me think he undoubtedly needs to be the number 1 tight end. And that's how they're looking at it.
Not even that catch?
Not even that catch.
Okay.
It's just they want to see it in a NFL real game. They want to see it when the chips are, when the chips mean something. That's when and if he can prove it, because they're going to give him an opportunity to prove it. He's going to play a lot. He's going to play a lot. But if he proves then that he can keep up with the big boys, he will eventually, move Chig out of the way and become the starter. For one reason, I think, and one reason only: contract. Chig is coming up on a contract. Gunnar Helm, you ain't got to give him another contract for another 3 years. I think this is Chig's contract year, isn't it?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, so
It's a big year for him.
It's a big year for him. So people, just think about that. This is a big year for him. He has to make his money. So you may get the best version of Chig that you've ever gotten.
By the way, within a minute of each other, 2 different texters asked about Amari Cooper. Mitch in Bellevue said, what about the Titans bringing in Amari Cooper? It's a very Titans thing to do. It doesn't make sense, because what is your aim? That is a conversation a lot of Titans fans are probably having. I'm sure we've had it or will have it. What is the goal of this season? If the goal is to win games, bringing in Amari Cooper probably helps that more than Van Jefferson or Alec Iamaner or Chim Dike. But should the Titans' number one priority be this season at least winning games and giving the younger rookies an opportunity, to prove that they can be a part of the future when hopefully the Titans start winning again?
I think with Amari Cooper, if you were to bring him in, you have to get rid of, you would have to move on from Van Jefferson, either through a trade or something. You would have to move on from Van Jefferson. If indeed that's what the Titans were thinking and they did it, I wouldn't be upset with it. I think that Amari is a upgrade, not a huge upgrade, but Amari has had sustained consistency in this league. He went to Buffalo. It just didn't work out. A lot of times when you do stuff like that and get a person at the beginning of the season or in the middle of the season, I think they got him in the middle of the season, didn't they? Buffalo, they traded for him.
They did.
That ain't going to work. It's just not going to work. As much as they try for it to work, it's not going to work.
And then he had a touchdown against the Titans in his Bills debut, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, see, I guess it worked for that day. But it's hard for it to work. But if they were to bring in Amari Cooper and say, we're going to do this, we're going to trade off Van Jefferson, I wouldn't be mad at that, because now you're bringing in a guy that's still a good player. He isn't what he used to be, but he's still a good player. That helps open. And he doesn't have not that I know of, an injury history, and at least not as of late that I can recall. I know he has been injured in the past, major injuries anyway. So you could bring a guy like that in, and yeah, he can help the passing game. But would you bring him in? Because it's more than likely he will remain your starter than Van Jefferson.
One texter to counter my point was the goal is to give your quarterback confidence, and not leave him on an island by himself with one dangerous target.
And also it will balance. I think it will work itself out. Guys are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So the rookies are going to get a chance.
Exactly.
That's why, there's a balance between, that's why they have Van Jefferson, Tyler Lockett, who I deem placeholders. They're there. They're veterans to try to support exactly what we're saying. But they're also, you're not committed to them so much that you're going to block if DK and or Iomanner earn the job. You hope that they streak by. Amari Cooper is a little bit more towards the DeAndre Hopkins, right? Established guy that if you're going to bring him in, you're kind of going to be inclined to make him a guy that's going to play a bigger role. And if you're not, if he's just going to be a role, why would he want to come sign with the Titans? He's going to want to latch on with a team where he could be a role player on a team that could win.
Well, he has to put plays on film, because he wants to be able to go into, because whoever picks him up, say if the Titans pick him up, it's only a 1-year deal. So if he goes out there and he play well, then that can parlay into a 2 or 3-year deal, and that'd be it for him. But I look at it from this standpoint, because I go back to Baltimore, and I know Tennessee tried it back in the day, and it didn't work with Yancey Thigpen and Carl Pickens. It didn't work. Both of them ended up getting hurt. But we did it in Baltimore. With myself, was there for a year, 2, and then they brought in Anquan Bolden, and it worked. It worked. They were able to distribute the ball the way they needed to, and we were a successful team. We didn't get to the Super Bowl, but we were a winning team, made it to the playoffs, ended up winning one game and lost, I think, in the second round. But it worked. But it gave Joe more weapons. And I think that's what it could be if indeed they choose to go. Now, I hope Van Jefferson works out and he can be what I think Amari Cooper can be, because they're going to need that second veteran guy outside of Tyler Lockett. I know he's there. But, that's what it essentially can be if they bring Amari Cooper in.
When it comes to rebuilding teams, not just in football, I am usually on, Willie's heard this phrase before, team play the kids. I am on that. I am usually on that team. You hear it a lot in hockey with a rebuilding team that's at the bottom of the standings. Predators fans, you heard it. You may have said it yourself during the hockey season last season. The season's not going anywhere, so play the kids, play the prospects, give them more playing time. That's where I sort of am with these Titans. Play Iomanner more than a normal team might. Play Chimdike more than a better team might. But you need to see what you have, even if it means sacrificing wins. That's where I am on it. What about all of you?
I'm kind of with that. I think where they are, but I think the first few weeks you still hold out a little bit of hope that you can surprise people, right? I think, and this gets said a lot, teammates. I think you believe this. In the locker room, the players are not down with we don't really care if we win or not. We're gonna develop the young players, and that's why we're here.
Play the kids.
Especially when your record is 0-0, you're like, let's see if we can beat the Broncos. Let's shock the world. Like, that's what sports is about, right? So you don't do that before the season starts. Now, the GMs, they can be thinking, let's see how it goes. This is what I hope happens. This is what I think is going to happen. But in the locker room, in the trenches, you don't go there. You agree, D-Man?
Yeah, you're not trying to say, especially if these guys, if they're playing just good football, they've shown they can play good football. If your starter hasn't done anything to, you know, um, be upseated, then you're going to stick with the starter, and you're going to allow that young guy to work himself into a real regular season game. Preseason is totally different from regular season, and anybody that tries to tell you different, they're lying to themselves. You can play well, and I've seen it many times. You can play well in the preseason. I've seen it many times. You get in regular season. I don't know, for whatever reason, those lights come on and you see people shrinking everywhere. Like, it's like the damn Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's just
Or George
everybody.
Costanza. It was George Costanza night last night.
Yeah,
Girls know about shrinkage?
Yeah. But they start.
615.
That's a Seinfeld episode.
I know.
I know.
It's
I was
network
pausing.
TV. That's
I was
PG.
pausing for comedic effect. Although I do
Yes.
appreciate the pull of "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids."
Uh-huh.
Shout out, Rick Moranis.
Yes, absolutely. So
615.
that's what I say. So
Yes.
don't rush these kids in
Yeah.
there thinking, oh, let's just get them in there so they can develop, tasks, time on task. No, some people don't need that.
Okay, 615-737-1025. We will get to in this hour.
I was in the pool.
we will get to in this hour some of the fallout from the news yesterday, which broke during our program, that the SEC is moving to a 9-game schedule. But before we get to that, we did receive a text about the subject, specifically Cam Ward, that I do want to talk about. 615-737-1025. Also be listening sometime this hour. I will give you the cue to call. Not right now. I will give you the cue to call to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Mexican national team face off against Korea Republic at Geodis Park on Tuesday, September 9th. You can't win them at this very moment. I will give you the cue to call before the end of the 5 o'clock hour. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, 1025 The Game.
Derek Mason here, and if you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, go to lawtigers.com for your free case evaluation. Even if your accident was months ago, you have nothing to lose by calling Law Tigers. Insurance companies want to pay out as little as possible or nothing at all. Law Tigers make sure you get the compensation you deserve and doesn't get paid until your case has been settled. Hey, listen, they understand how much your bike gear is worth to you. So they will get it all repaired or better yet replaced. Law Tigers is the resource the motorcycle community turns to when it needs. So whether it's to support you in an event or if they see you broken down on the side of the road, with Law Tigers, you'll never ride alone. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is powered by Freeman and Fuson, and you can find them in Nashville located at 2126 21st Ave South. Law Tigers, Tennessee's motorcycle lawyer.
D. Mace, Vingan, and Donick 1025, The Game. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan here with you, talking Titans, who wrap up the preseason tonight on national television. Mike North on national television in primetime against the quote-unquote Minnesota Vikings, because I don't think the Vikings are playing any players who you know. So we'll call them the quote-unquote Minnesota Vikings. I do want to get to one text. And these texts pop up from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's natural when we're talking about Cam Ward. One texter says, look at the Commanders last year and the Texans the year before with C.J. Stroud. And I understand, Titans fans. You want a season like Jaden Daniels had last season for the Commanders, when the Commanders came out of nowhere and went all the way to the NFC title game. You would love that if Cam Ward did the same thing for the Tennessee Titans. C.J. Stroud had an awesome rookie season for the Houston Texans. They won the division title. Titans fans, you hope that Cam Ward can have that same effect this season. But need I remind all of you, let's go back to that story from Teron Davenport and Jeremy Fowler on ESPN.com earlier this week, when they shared research that teams that start rookie quarterbacks since 2002, which is when the NFL expanded to 32 teams, teams that start rookie quarterbacks since 2002 are a combined 431, 655, and 2, a winning percentage of 397. So as much as we would all love for the Tennessee Titans to have the type of season that Jaden Daniels had with the Commanders and C.J. Stroud had with the Texans, let's keep it in perspective. That type of season is highly unlikely for Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. And if I am completely wrong, David will clip this and we'll play it every day.
We'll be the happiest people going. But that's the thing, is you can't ignore everything else. But this guy did it. Well, yeah, he did. Just last year. We remember. We saw it. We saw C.J. Stroud. That was great. But what about the other 50 like how many there are? How many have there been since 2002? I don't know. We've done all these exercises. Every day we've had these to kind of lay out what are the chances that this goes like Jaden Daniels, like C.J. Stroud. Those guys are so much the exception. In fact, yesterday's exercise, because it's fresh in my mind, was we studied the Athletics' 25 best rookie quarterback seasons since 2002, when the league went to 32 teams. Is
it
that
was
right?
25 and 25.
25 and 25.
Yeah, so over the past 25 years.
So, Adam, where were you 25 years ago?
Middle school.
So, since Adam was in middle school, the 25 best seasons, C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels are the two best. 25 years. Adam's come a long way since middle school.
I have less
He's
hair.
gone to American University. He's watched a lot of Duke basketball.
Yep.
He's lost all of his hair, or most of his hair. He says he's still got some, but D-Mace, you and I know.
We all know. We all know.
Yeah.
We all know.
I am balding with an ing at the end.
I want.
I
you get the point.
I also have a son who turns 4 next week,
Yes,
which is
we get
just
the point.
shocking. Yes.
We get the point that C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels are not the bar. They're the highest they're outliers, is what I'm trying to say. Is that, I don't know if that qualifies.
Yes, they are outliers. Yeah. They are outliers. Remember, I went back and looked at when we did that exercise. I wanted to go to the bottom. I want to know who was the 25th best rookie quarterback season. And one thing I wish the article would have done, and this is something I probably could have done on my own, was I wanted to see the sample, like 25 out of how many. But even the 25th best rookie season of the past 25 years was Daniel Jones with the Giants.
Yeah,
and
that's the 25th best, but there's got to be at least 100 more guys, right? Or I don't know.
I'm going to look this up. I want to look this up while you guys talk. I will look this up.
I know who's not in there. Yeah. I know who's not number 26, Jamarcus Russell.
That's probably true.
So I appreciate.
He's at the bottom. Wherever you start, then start with him.
I appreciate the texter's optimism.
Yeah, and we're not saying he can't do it.
It's going to be hard. Obviously.
It's like when you buy a lottery ticket and it says chances.
I just bought one today.
1 in 4.765 million. Now, I don't think that Cam Ward having a Jaden Daniels like season has
odds are a little better. Than
odds.
that,
Are better.
Okay. When you say a Jaden Daniels type season, there's two things you got to be. Are you talking about the numbers or are you talking about the record?
I'm talking about both.
It's the combination.
I'm talking about
lifted
both.
Well, I don't think you can have. Well, you may have both, but you got to understand the Washington Commanders and the quarterbacks they faced, because you look at the defense, and the defense made plays when they needed to, but they were playing against guys. The teams that had quarterbacks, they lost. Washington lost. The teams that were either playing backups or their starter he's really a backup. They won all those games. The defense managed to do a few things here and there. What I'm saying is this. If you want the numbers, okay, let's take that. But the Titans are not going to play the teams that Washington played last year in regards to their quarterbacks. They're playing much better quarterbacks. At least I believe they're playing much better quarterbacks than Washington did last year, which helped them. Jaden Daniels played really good. But I think had he played that and they had played teams with real true starting quarterbacks, i.e., they played Baltimore, they lost. They played Philly, they lost. They played Tampa, they lost. They played someone else with another a really good quarterback, they end up losing. So if you're telling me the Titans are going to play a schedule like Washington did, and you give me his numbers, then I'm saying, okay, I think the record would be close to what Washington was. But if they're not playing that type of schedule, he may put up those numbers, but it may not equate to those types of wins. They were 12-4 last year, were they? Somewhere around there.
12-5.
Yeah, 12-5.
Yeah.
Like, he may have that production. You look at Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had the production, but he didn't have. They were not winning.
The numbers look better than the results.
It's the
Absolutely.
combination. It's the combination for Jaden Daniels. It's the fact that he looked like
he
true
looked,
franchise
absolutely.
quarterback, and the Commanders had the most success they've had in 2 decades. It's the combination. By the way, I believe I have an answer to the number of rookie quarterbacks who have started a game in the NFL since 2000. It is 142.
Okay. And Daniel Jones was 25th. So that gives you an idea of 26 through 142.
There are some rough names on this list. Oh, my goodness.
And even if you threw out guys who only started maybe 3 or 4 games, like I think Zach Mettenberger probably started a couple games in there. That didn't go very well.
Nah, I didn't. Not at all.
He's coaching at FRA or at Father Ryan now, so he's doing pretty well now.
Yeah.
Here are the quarterbacks who had rookie quarterbacks who had 1 start in their rookie
Was
season.
Rusty in there?
Let's see. Yes, Rusty.
Rusty?
Yeah. Okay.
That didn't go very well.
Let's do a trip down
Hey,
memory
got my
lane.
man Rusty, man. Rusty cool
He
peeps.
tried.
Kyle Allen, Ian Book, Anthony Brown, Kirk Cousins early in his career with the Commanders, Ben DiNucci, Randy Fasani, David Garrard, Sam Howell, Patrick Mahomes, John Navarre.
Yeah. Is he a Michigan guy? Is that right?
Jamarcus Russell, Matt Schaub, pride of UVA, Connor Shaw, Rusty Smith, Jeff Toole, Clayton Toon, and Spurgeon Wynn.
I remember Spurgeon Wynn. That's a heck of a name right there.
Spurgeon Wynn. So
throw those guys out, and now we're down to 137. We get the picture here, but just keep this perspective. It's not like you're rooting against Cam Ward, but let's not set the bar and say that it's not going to work if he doesn't do what Jaden Daniels and Cam and CJ Stroud did.
It could work. It worked for Joe Flacco, and his numbers were nowhere near what Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud was that first year.
615-737-1025. Okay, we will get to the SEC 9-game schedule coming up next. As you know, with the 9-game schedule, there will be 3 games against annual opponents. Who should those opponents be for Vanderbilt and Tennessee? 615-737-1025. But I did say I have a giveaway. So let's do that now, David James. Be caller number 4 at 615-737-1025. And you will win a pair of tickets, a 4-pack of tickets, to see the Mexican national team face off against Korea Republic at Geodis Park on Tuesday, September 9th. Caller number 4 a 4-pack of tickets to see the Mexican national team face off against Korea Republic at Geodis Park on Tuesday, September 9th. Those 4-pack of tickets, can be yours. Caller number 4, 615-737-1025. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, 1025 The Game. D. Mace Vingan and Donick 1025 The Game. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan here with you. The SEC announced on Thursday during our program, thank you, SEC, that it is officially going to 9 games in football starting next season. And the 9-game format has 2 main components: 3 games against annual opponents and 6 games against non-annual opponents, rotated such that everybody plays each other twice in 4 years, home and away. So it got me thinking about which 3 SEC rivals. Let me rephrase that because it was going to sound really weird. Which rivals should be assigned to Tennessee and Vanderbilt? And we'll start simply. Each other. Tennessee will be one of Vanderbilt's annual opponents and vice versa. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, but
yeah.
This is where I have a big problem. I have a big problem with this.
Okay.
And this is not about Vanderbilt, okay? This is about scheduling an equitable, fair schedule year in and year out. If my 3 biggest rivals are Alabama, Georgia, and Texas, and your biggest 3 rivals are Mississippi, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt,
I get it.
is that fair? You play those 3 every year. I play the other. You know what I mean?
Understood.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What if you don't really have 3 rivals? You know, I know that we got to preserve the rivalry. No, you chose to go to 16 teams. Some of this stuff goes by the wayside. I'm sorry. It's a dumb thing. It's dumb. I'm sorry.
Well,
But guess what?
If
We know
Tennessee
where
and
Willie
Alabama don't
stands.
play it every year, that's your fault as a league for letting 16 teams in.
You're
It was
still-
fine the way it was.
You're still going to participate in the exercise, even if you are protesting it by saying it's a dumb thing.
Okay, so I am doing this under protest.
That's fair.
Okay, because you should have a rotating schedule. Everybody plays the same teams over a certain period of time. There's too many teams in the league. Too many.
You're
When
not,
you had 12 teams and you had 2 divisions, that made sense.
so you don't want to
And
preserve
even that
your
wasn't
rivals.
perfect, but it was better than this.
How about 2 rivals? Like 2 rival games.
Before it was 1,
Yeah.
right? Before it was 1 annual
Mhm.
game.
How about 2 annual?
But it's like, I got to play Georgia. Georgia's got to play Auburn. You can't just have Georgia and Florida. We got to have Georgia play Auburn too. Because Georgia and Auburn goes back further than any of it. It's all subjective. Do you want to have a fair schedule or not? It's not fair.
No,
Steve Spurrier used to say this all the time. Oh yeah, they used to play 1, right? From the other division when there were 12 teams, there would be 1 team you would play every year in the other division, so you could have the rivalry continue, right? With if there was an obvious rivalry like Tennessee, Alabama. So Steve Spurrier's like, oh, our rival every year is LSU. Ole Miss's rival every year is Vanderbilt plays Ole Miss. That was Ole Miss. He was like, and we're supposed to play, and our rival in state happens to be Florida State. Okay. And he was like, I'm not complaining, but you think that's fair? Like he would be at least the one to tell it like it is. And now you're supposed to play 3 the same every year in a 16-team league?
Hey, you are.
It doesn't make any sense.
Listen, y'all are y'all have self-proclaimed yourselves as the greatest football conference ever. So if that's the case, then hey, it ain't fair, right? It's not fair. Within the conference, if y'all the best, it don't matter who you play.
The words I'm looking for are competitive balance. You are sacrificing competitive balance when you do this.
Okay.
It's like the same way interleague baseball with the way they used to do it. Like the Yankees played the Mets every year. And am I bitter? I love seeing the Yankees play the Mets, but when the Yankees are a powerhouse every year and another team in our same division gets to play the Tampa Bay Rays back when the Rays were awful, it's not equitable. It's not competitive balance.
Let's change the exercise then. So Seth.
Oh, he made you change.
No, I have a better idea. I'm pivoting.
I like you, Willie.
I'm pivoting.
No, but I would love pushback on that.
Okay. I'm going to pivot here.
Okay.
So Seth Emerson of The Athletic wrote a story about this and took a stab at predicting the annual rivals for each SEC team.
He's predicting.
He's
right?
predicting.
So it's all subjective.
Okay.
We're predicting. Like I can just let's go to the candy store and let me pick my 3 favorite teams that I want to play.
But didn't he
That's
base
not
it
how a
upon
schedule should
proximity
work.
and everything else?
But yeah, go with Mr. Anderson. What's he got?
You got Willie hot.
I'm hot.
Your protest is duly noted. Okay, I'm going to read through these quickly. As I'm going through them, you tell me if any of these are unfair in your mind. Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. Arkansas, Missouri, Texas, and Kentucky. Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Florida, Georgia, Auburn, and South Carolina. That was Florida, Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina. Georgia, Auburn, Florida, South Carolina. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Arkansas. LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Kentucky, South Carolina. Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Vanderbilt. Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Texas A&M. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, and Vanderbilt. South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Mississippi State. Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Alabama, and Kentucky. Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Arkansas. Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma, and LSU. And Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Missouri. Do any of those stand out as that's so unfair?
No, it's not. All of it seems fair to me.
What do you think?
I think if you went through it like like a house on fire.
Well, we do have limited time.
A storm rolling through there. Like we need to process this, but I would bet you that there will be coaches who look at that list. If that ends up being the final list, I would imagine there would be some squawking among some coaches who are looking short term and saying, "Oh yeah." Like I think Vanderbilt comes out pretty well in that.
Yeah, they do.
What are Vanderbilt's? Tennessee,
Ole Miss, and Missouri. No, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Missouri.
Ole Miss and Missouri.
The one that stood out to me is, that might be tough, is Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. That was the one that popped out to me as I was.
Well, Alabama's tough. Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU.
That's tough too.
So see, you can have an argument, I guess, either way. But if I'm looking at it, if it went,
but why not
as
just
they wrote
rotate
it like
it?
now?
Why not just rotate?
They still gonna rotate.
But you rotate all of the games.
No,
Texas used to play Texas A&M all the time, and then they stopped playing for a long time. The Earth continued to revolve around the axis.
They want him back, Willie. They want him back.
But you know what I mean? Like sometimes
they want that old thing back, Willie. They want that old thing back.
You don't have to do it every year. If you want to have a fair schedule that's equal for everybody.
But this is fair based upon. This is
but
fair, Willie.
Look,
because I go back to this. The SEC is the most dominant conference out there. That's what the moniker is. They're the toughest conference. Besides, it just means better. But why if you're in the toughest conference where from top to bottom it's tough, then there's no complaining about how they divvied up the rivalries. Everybody has a tough schedule.
And I get that now, supposedly, when you're being evaluated, if you're playing an extra tough schedule because of this, and you go 8-4, that should be recognized by the group. Now, the committee should be saying, okay, it's 8-4, but that was a brutal schedule. But are we really thinking that I want to see it play out? Because I don't know if I believe it's going to go like the basketball, where it's routine now. If your record is 19-12 with the number one strength of schedule, and the other team is 23-6 with a really bad schedule, the 19-12 gets in every time. Football, we're still waiting to see how an example of that. It's never happened before. They say they're going to do it.
I think it's going to be one this year. It'll be an example this year where that strength of schedule, where it truly comes into play. But I think when you're looking at the way you may be looking at it, Willie, is from the old school sort of SEC, what it used to be. I think what it is now, because of NIL,
right?
Teams are better.
Well, okay.
It's more even across the board.
That's true. That's true. And so, yeah, I think that's a fair point, that it's a deep conference, and year in and year out, after 5 years, 10 years, that it's going to rotate how tough that group of three is for every team. But also in a given year, when it's not equitable, it's not the same for everybody. Do we even care who wins the league? Like, if you're crowning a league champion, there should be some uniformity of how you come up with the schedule. I don't get that, because when Spurrier was making his point, when he was saying, we're trying to win the SEC East, we're trying to win an SEC championship, most of the time the SEC champion is going to be in the playoff mix, then my pathway to that championship is a lot tougher than other schools in our division. But I don't know that anybody really cares who wins the SEC championship anymore. It's all about, did you get in the playoffs?
Let me read 3 consecutive texts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Dustin in Hopkinsville. Someone get Willie a tissue. Greg, only people who complain about competitive balance are Vandy fans. One unnamed texter, stop crying, Willie.
I'm sorry, Willie.
No, it's fine.
First off, rude.
But I was talking about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt in that thing that you just read, that's not a bad draw.
Yeah, that's not a bad draw for Vandy.
Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Missouri.
That's not a bad draw.
That's two of the three Vanderbilt used to play every year anyway. Ole Miss was the crossover common team that they played every year. That wasn't a bad deal. Now Lane Kiffin is on a pretty good run, but over the years, Ole Miss has not won as much. So Vanderbilt gets a good deal out of that. It's not about Vanderbilt. It's about competitive balance and scheduling equity.
I should clarify. Dustin said that someone should get Wally a tissue.
Wow.
Not Willie, Wally.
Wally. 615-737.
Wally is wallowing.
Yes. 615-737-1025. It's Friday at 5 o'clock, so it's time for Ask D-Mace. 615-737-1025. If you have a question for Derek, call us, text us. It can be about sports, Titans, college football, memories of high school football.
Anything.
It can be about life, whatever you want. 615-737-1025. We do that next. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, 1025 The Game.
Hey, it's Derek Mason, and I want to tell you about a local company I really trust. All Four Season Garage Doors, owned by Dan Watkins. This is a locally run, family-owned business that has been serving Middle Tennesseans for years. They've got a huge selection of garage doors if you're ready for an upgrade, and their installation is top-notch. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. And if all you need is a repair, whether it's a section replacement, springs, or your openers, they've got you covered. They can even quiet down that noisy garage door or opener. But here's something a lot of people don't think about: carport conversions. Turning your carport into a full garage in one of the best ways to add value to your home. Since the structure is already there, you're really just paying for the framing, the door, and the opener. And the return on investment can be up to 5 times what you spent. Check them out at All Four Seasons Garages.com. That's all for the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
He played 15 years in the NFL.
Quick throw. Touchdown, Derek Mason.
He had over 12,000 receiving yards.
Midfield, and there he goes. 80 yards for the touchdown.
And now you can ask him anything. Have a question about football or life? Now's your time to ask D-Mace.
We'll welcome you in.
Now, D-Mace on 102.5 and 106.3, The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for Ask D-Mace on D-Mace, Vingan, and Donick, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Willie Donick, Adam Vingan, and of course, Derek Mason. If you have a question for Derek Mason, you can call or text us right now at 615-737-1025. Our phone and text lines are driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Let's start with LJ on our phone line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. LJ, thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
What's up, big guy? So I got two questions for you, D-Mace. Is the Titans going to be able to get in with 21 points? And how's the hemorrhoids doing?
Oh,
thank you, LJ.
Oh, LJ.
Derek did offer this.
Yes, I did offer it
without
up.
any kind of pushing or
Yeah,
anything.
I did. Okay.
It was a public service.
Okay.
It was a men's health situation.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
people's health.
the latest, there hasn't been any more flare-ups, so I'm good right now. I'm hoping that stays that way.
Has George Brett called you?
No, George Brett
He
hasn't called me.
you.
No, not
Okay.
yet. So that's better right now. Is he saying tonight? Will they score 21 tonight?
I think he meant for the season.
Oh, will they average 21 points? Oof.
Will they get into the club?
You know what? That's something for the scrolls. I think we got to
Yes.
save it for
Yep.
the scrolls. That's usually in the scrolls.
We
so
had a question.
yeah, we had a question like that, and I'm
And
sure it's going to come up again.
We didn't get into the clubs last
Yeah.
year. They did
But
not get
if
to
you're
the-
asking about this game, then man, I'm hoping they score over 21 points in this game. So there you go. But yeah, the hemorrhoids, they're better.
If I'm not mistaken, Nick Frazier predicted that the Titans would be able to run for public office. 25 points or up.
Oh,
yes, that was
yes.
far short of that.
Yeah.
Just a bit outside,
Yeah.
Nick
Yeah,
Frazier.
yeah.
The two previous years, they had averaged under 18. So we were
Mhm.
thinking, are you going to be at least old enough
21,
to
get in the
vote?
club.
To vote
Yeah.
at
Oh, yeah.
18. Let's start with being able to vote. And then it was 21, being able to get into the clubs without a fake ID.
Exactly, without a fake ID.
And what did they average last year?
18
18
points.
points.
Right at 8. So that's 3 years in a row.
I believe it was 18.3
Okay.
to be precise. But
Hmm.
I could be wrong. But it was 18. Maybe.
So they could
Andrew is on our phone line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Andrew, thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Doing well.
Hey, D-Mace, I have a GM question for you, so I'm going to ask that you put your GM hat on, and we'll have maybe some fun with this. So I'm of the belief that the Titans hypothetically could acquire Micah Parsons while giving up a piece or two and some picks and still have it be a net positive. So personally, I would do this, but I want to hear your thoughts. Would you give up Jeffrey Simmons and a second-round pick next year for Micah Parsons? And I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you.
Andrew.
It's not just the picks, it's the money that you would have to pay him. But Jeffrey is due a new contract too this offseason. And maybe you can, take what you're going to get Jeff and, add some to it. You better add a whole bunch. And then you can pay Michael Parsons. But if it's only, what he say, Jeff
Jeffrey
in the
Simmons
second
and a
round
second?
pick. Yeah, here, take him. Take him.
Run-
Give me,
run to the
here,
commissioner.
Here, take it.
Run to
take
Roger
it.
Goodell, said, we have a deal. We have a deal.
Exactly.
We have a deal.
If it's gonna
Cowboys
cost,
will never do that.
it's gonna cost more than that. Listen to Jerry Jones. I listened to that whole interview with Jerry Jones and Stephen A. You may not like Jerry Jones. You may not, you may think he's brass and he's just always in your face and he's messing up the Cowboys, which you think he has. They ain't done nothing since they won the 3 championships. But if you listen to it from a business standpoint, you got to agree with what he's saying about players. Now, I don't like, him circumventing the agent and going to the player. No, but the other stuff he talked about you know, um, it showed that it's going to take more than just a second rounder and a player. It's going to take a couple first rounders, and even with that, I'm not sure Jerry is going to give them up. But if you're giving up 2 first rounders, I'm not doing it because you're trying to build your team. And Mike is a hell of a player, and he would take you into that stadium. But you're not one Michael Parsons away from competing in your own division.
Steven on our text line, I don't know why I struggle with that. Steven on our text line says, D-Mace trivia. In D-Mace's final college football game, a 38-0 Sun Bowl beatdown.
Oh, yeah.
Can he name Stanford's quarterback in that game?
Man, I know the coach was Ty Willingham, I believe.
Ty Willingham.
Yes. Who was the quarterback?
This would have been the 1996 Sun Bowl.
Yep. Stanford. Who was the quarterback then?
I'm looking
I
it
don't
up.
know why. I don't know why I'm thinking Jake Plummer. That was Arizona. Gosh, I don't know who the quarterback was.
I'm racking my brain.
It has to be somebody with Tennessee ties.
It's just after
the Titans.
Touchdown Tommy Vardell days. He wasn't still on that team, was he?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we can look it up. We can look it up.
What do you got, Adam?
Is it Chad Hutchinson?
Yeah, could have been. Yeah. So does he have ties to the Titans?
What's the historical significance?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chad Hutchinson.
Steven was just testing to make sure that your memory hasn't gone.
Is he a Stanford fan?
Was that Chad? But call himself Steven?
Stanford grad?
It is Chad Hutchinson, said Steven.
Yeah.
So I answered the question, not Derek.
You cheated.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I absolutely Googled it. Let's go
we did get beat down too. Whew, we got beat down.
That wasn't fun in El Paso?
No, it was hot.
What did you guys do after the game?
The turf was horrible. It ain't what we did after the game. It was the stuff we do it before the game. Like, it just wasn't a good trip. Like, just all in all.
You didn't have fun in El Paso?
It didn't have fun. It wasn't nothing to do. I mean, everywhere you went, you went on buses.
No Country for Old Men?
Yeah. We went over the
Did you go over the bridge?
We went over the Juarez. We went over to Juarez, and they said, stay on the bus until we take y'all off, and then you stay with your guide. That's what they told us. And don't buy any phony gold change. Well, joke's on you. I bought me one. I bought me a phony gold chain.
1996 on it?
And you know what happened? I wore that thing, and this is no lie. At the time,
it gave you a rash.
At the time, I was dating she was my wife at the afterwards. Marcy, her and I were dating.
Okay.
And we got married I think the next year. No, we got married like a couple months later.
You wore the chain in your wedding.
No, but I was wearing that chain, and then one day she came behind me and was like, that chain, is it real? She's like, it's tarnishing. Well, I only paid like $20 for it. I mean,
and they warned you up front?
Yeah, and $20, gold chain, 18-year-old. Come on now. I mean, and it wasn't like a gaudy gold chain. It was just a small gold chain. That's all.
You thought it was a good purchase?
Yeah, I thought it was. I got 20 wears out of it.
Next thing you know, Derek's going to say, I bought Gucci when I was younger, but with 2 O's.
If I could have afforded it, I would have sure enough bought it.
Let's go to Michael on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Michael, thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
So on my way home, it's normally a 45-minute drive that turned into a 3-hour drive because of this wreck on 24.
Ugh.
So I just wanted to ask Derek how he deals with road rage, whether he be the one doing the raging or he's the one getting raged at. Because I've experienced a lot of it in the last couple hours.
I'm sure you have.
I'm sure you have. Well,
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. I hope hopefully, it's not a bad accident where someone's injured, but you typically get fender benders that just slows everything up. But I have not always been this way. I have had my share of road rage, but now it's almost I try not to deal with it. I just try to keep driving and
listen
smile.
to a good radio show.
I try to do some, and then the majority of the times it's like I'm not in a rush to get anywhere anyway. So it's like, okay, unless I'm driving behind somebody that's doing like 10 below the speed limit, then now we got a problem. Okay. But other than that, I mean, I'm easy selling, man. I got a lead foot though at times, but I am easy selling.
Okay, good
I
to
try
know.
not getting to no scuffles out there on the streets, man. I'm too old for all that.
I'm not too road ragey.
That means he is.
But I do ask the other drivers, like, what are you doing? Knowing that they can't hear me.
I experienced
this is a universal.
When we drove up to Kentucky the other day for the show. There were a couple of those moments.
There were?
Couple, nothing, outrageous, but there were a couple. Where are you going? What you doing?
What you doing? I can see Adam doing. What
What's this guy doing?
My mother likes to remind me that when I was very young, I think she stopped short in the car, and I said, "What the car do?" So sometimes I say that to myself when somebody does something stupid. What the car do? Anyway, let's go to Justin on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Justin, thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, what's going on?
How are you?
What's happening?
Hey, good. I had a quick question about Cam. So, fans in the NFL to me aren't known to be the most patient fans. Would you guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So when, especially at home games, when you have all the fans there, when those rookie mistakes start to happen, drop balls or fumbles or airmail, stuff like that, when those fans start booing him, how do you think he's going to proceed? How is he going to take that? Like when he leaves that game and goes to sleep at night, lays his head down, when all he can think about is his progression throughout that game, and then those boos start getting louder and louder in his head. Teammates, how do you think he's going to deal with that pressure and being, in that role of trying to be perfect all the time?
Thanks, Justin.
How does he deal? To me, from what I've seen of Cam, I don't think he allows things to affect him. Every player has to deal with it to a certain extent. But some players are better at, putting things in its place, knowing that, the minute you start playing different, the sentiment changes. So the pressure, this is not the first time. I mean, it may be the greatest pressure he's faced up until now, but this isn't the first time that he's faced pressure. Each step that he's taken, each journey that he's been on has been, one that he had to overcome pressure to prove that he was the quarterback that he thought he was. Now it's great. I get it. It's the NFL and the fan base and everything else. And you are, basing on where the Titans are, there is a lot on his shoulders. The whole organization is essentially on his shoulders. I like what the Titans are doing. They're not making it seem that way, but he knows that the success of this franchise rides on how well he plays or how quickly he develops as a quarterback. Some people can't deal with that, and you see it. You see it all the time in quarterbacks, but some people can. You see that as well. Those individuals, whether they're a quarterback or a defensive back or wide receiver, as the pressure gets greater, they rise. And Cam seems to be that type of individual now. Listen, time will tell. He's getting a little pushback from some people now, but I think that's more so because of the Titans and who they are than Cam Ward. But once he get in the season, and depending on how the season goes, he's going to have his ebb and flows. That's just the way it is. How does he stick to the plan that they've put him on, or is he listening to everything else outside of that?
One texter asks Derek, you are GM of a make-believe team. You have to win 6 games this year or you're fired. If all else is equal on the teams, would you rather have Cam Ward in the Titans offensive line or Drake May in the Patriots offensive line?
So would I rather have the Titans offensive line or New England?
All else being equal,
okay,
you have to win 6 games as GM or you're fired. So skill level at all of the other positions
are the same,
is equal.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Ward and the Titans offensive line or Drake May and the Patriots offensive line?
Honestly, I don't know what the Patriots offensive line looks like. I know what the Titans offensive line has looked like throughout preseason in camp. I'm taking Cam in this offensive line. It has nothing to do with who I believe Drake May is, because I think Drake May is a pretty good quarterback. But I've seen the Titans offensive line. I've seen them getting better. I haven't seen New England's offensive line. I don't know I've saw him a few times where he was running around. That's not a good last vision of a quarterback, or an offensive line. But because it's almost like recency bias, or what do you call it? Regional bias in a sense. I'm going with the Titans because I've seen their offensive line throughout the preseason.
615-737-1025. We will continue Ask D-Mace coming up next. So if you have a question for Derek, call us and text us 615-737-1025. We see your phones. We will get to them next. Willie Darnick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, 1025 The Game.
Hey, this is Derek Mason, and you heard me tell you about Dr. Lodge and his staff over at Cool Springs MD for some time. If you set out to lose weight, chances are it's not your first time setting a resolution to shed some extra pounds only to face disappointment. But I got some news, and it's good news, because at Cool Springs MD, Dr. Lodge and his team understands the frustration of this cycle, and that is why they offer a different approach to weight loss. Their comprehensive weight loss program is led by Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and addresses the root cause of weight gain with tailored nutrition, exercise, blood test supplements, and more. They will customize a program specific to you and you only. You know why I know this is because they've done it for me as well. So connect with Dr. Lodge at CoolSpringsMD.com today to schedule your appointment for a personalized weight loss plan just for you. That's Cool Springs MD, where your weight loss journey becomes a success story.
D. Mace, Vingan, and Donick 1025 the game. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan. You like that, Derek?
Oh yeah, I like that.
I was in charge of the DJing today.
Yeah.
It's emo night here on D. Mace, Vingan, and Donick. I chose some of my favorite.
Usually
emo.
it's a Tuesday night, but you know what? We'll go right now.
We'll go on a Friday.
My only thing was
Mm-hmm.
is that you had to be
Yes.
cutting edge. You had to be cutting edge. And I think you're there.
I was
you're
edgy.
there. Yeah, I think you're there. You good. So we can probably give you the keys to the radio again.
I may be edgier now than I was back then. Back then I had 0 tattoos. Now I have 7. So I may be edgier now. Who's to say? Let's go to Jim in Mount Juliet on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHunted.com. Jim, thank you for waiting. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Adam.
Hello.
There's a famous movie character named Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
If you were management, would you ever consider trying to implement the nickname Boo for Cam Ward? So when he played bad and the fans are going, boo, they'd be thinking, hey, they got my back. They love me. And he wouldn't get down. I'll listen to your answer. Thank you,
Jim. Clever.
Oh, man. I mean, that is clever. I like that. So when they're booing you, they're really cheering you in a sense. No, I wouldn't go that far.
As the famous Simpsons skit with Mr. Burns goes. Are they saying boo or boo earns? I was saying boo earns. They were actually booing him, of course. 615-737-1025 if you have a question for Derek.
Good
Let's go
literary reference by
Yeah.
Boo Radley.
I felt like I was back in AP Lit in high school. Good for you, Jim.
I ain't take AP Lit, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
Where's Scout and Jim? Right? Where's the kids, Scout and Jim?
It's been a long
Atticus
time.
Finch?
Yes, it's been a long time since I read To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's go to Clay on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHunted.com. Clay, thank you for waiting. Please go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing, guys?
Doing
Good.
well.
Willie, I hope things are getting easier for you. I've been thinking about you. Anyway, D-Mace, I wanted to take you back maybe to a part of your life that's pretty sad, but this is real life. And I'm talking about the death of Steve McNair. Because you lost a brother, a teammate, a warrior. And I've talked to you about your eulogy that you gave at his funeral. And I just wondered, I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve and Michelle's kids were Trenton and Tyler, right?
Yes.
I was just wondering how they're doing. And because obviously you were extremely close to them back then. I assume you still are. I just wondered how Michelle and Trenton and Tyler were doing.
Thanks, Clay.
Thank you for the call. To my knowledge, I believe Tyler, I get the names mixed up. Trenton, the youngest. I don't know if he's graduated college
Yeah,
yet.
no. So he's at college.
He's in. It's somewhere in Florida.
Yeah,
I
somewhere in
believe.
Florida.
Yeah, somewhere in Florida. And then Tyler, he's been, because my daughter was in New York at school and Tyler was in New York at school, and they were running to each other all the time at school. I'm not sure if Michelle still is in town or not. But to my knowledge, the kids are doing well, and she seems to be doing well as also. So I mean, I think that was a not necessarily, I mean, for me it was a hard time, but my feelings doesn't compare to what his family went through. I try not to talk about it too much, and I want to be respectful to his family and don't go into it. But that's all I would say, what I said at first.
Let's go to Eric on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHunted.com. Eric, thank you for waiting. Go ahead.
Hey guys, D-Mace, I've got a dad joke for you. I think you'll like this. I usually don't say something like this. I think this is probably one of the best dad jokes I've told. I think you'll like it.
Oh, you're building it up.
He hyped himself up.
Yeah,
It better be good, Eric.
Okay, why was the number 6 afraid of number 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
You got it. Yeah, that's it.
Eric, I have to say, I'm a little underwhelmed. I've heard that one
Yes,
before.
I heard it
I'm
before
a little
too.
underwhelmed.
Yes,
That is
I
a
heard it
go-to.
before.
That's
That's
a
a go-to, and I heard that one before. Yes,
I'm sorry.
but I still
could
laugh.
tell-
I still laugh.
I still could tell another one, but I don't know if I do. I don't know if you'll take another one or not.
No, just save that one. Save that one, Eric.
Okay. But D-Mace, what I wanted to ask you is, during your player career, who would you say is the one player that you love playing against? I guess matchup, whatever rivalry or whatever. The one player that you said you feel like I guess you had the most success against and you love playing. And who was the one player that you played against that drove you crazy as far as defense that you had to match up against? Just wanted to get your thoughts on that, guys. As always, y'all take care. We'll talk to you again soon and have a great weekend.
You too, Eric. Thank you.
You too, Eric. I would say I had the most success against probably Houston and Cleveland. I love playing against Cleveland. I've told this story before to you guys about Cleveland. I just love.
You love the dog pound.
Yeah, I love the dog pound because they would give it to you and smile, and I would give it back and smile, and it was just a good back and forth, respectful banter. That's just Cleveland. That's just the dog pound at Cleveland. So I enjoyed playing the Browns because I knew that more times than not I was gonna have a good game. And then the Houston Texans, I've had some big days. Now Pittsburgh is the team. Pittsburgh and New England, more in particular, Ty Law. I never had troubles with a lot of Asamoah. I did, but Asamoah was like 6'3". His arms were so long. I mean, it was pathetic. He was like go gadget with his arms, and you had to work extra hard to beat him. But I finally figured him out, and I got, I had my time against him, and he had his time against me. But Ty Law was very difficult to play against. I played against Ty Law in college. I was a freshman. He was a senior. And he was good then. And he was such a technician. And he was fast. And he was smart. And he would pick up on tendencies. So you had to be on your A game when you played against guys like that. And then Pittsburgh's secondary, they always was hard to play against. Man, I hated it. It was just their defense. And what was the defensive coordinator name, Willie, that was there for the longest, that long time? Guy, he played for Pittsburgh. He was Pittsburgh through and through. Why am I forgetting his name?
Yeah, he came to the Titans.
Yeah, he came to the Titans.
Dick LeBeau.
Yeah,
Dick LeBeau. Yeah.
Playing against Dick LeBeau's defense, man, they were tough. I mean, and then to top it off, they had great players on that side of the ball as well. So that team I really had trouble against because it wasn't just one person; it was the whole defense.
Matthew in Nashville says, Derek, what's your last-minute college football prediction / take now that we've arrived at week 0?
This is going to be a hot take. I got the Spartans making it to the college football playoffs.
That is not a hot.
Damn right.
Well, that is pretty hot.
Damn right. Absolutely.
So you predicting the Spartans doing well? That's not that
take.
hot.
That is. They will
sizzling.
make it to the college football playoff.
What'd you say? That's a scorcher.
That's a scorcher.
Not a scorcher,
That's
as
not
I
a
said
scorcher.
earlier. That's a
scorcher.
sculpture.
That means it's extra hot, brother.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's pretty spicy. That's pretty spicy.
Wow.
You
what
like
are we
that,
basing
don't you?
this on? You like
It's
what
my
you're hearing?
love for the Spartans. I like what they've
It's
done.
just all about love, or do you have like
Yeah.
inside
I
tips,
do.
knowledge
I
from
got
people?
I got some things going. I got some
Okay,
things
you got
brewing.
some connections up
I
there
got some
telling you?
connections, some things in the
Okay.
pot,
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna remind you.
Yeah. I know y'all will.
Connor Newt has stepped in for David James.
Hey,
how
Connor.
hot is that take?
I mean, I think Michigan State's a solid Big Ten team. I could see them going like 8-4.
9-3. That's gonna get us in. 9-3 gonna get it in.
Aiden Childs is a good
He
quarterback.
is a good quarterback. And that freshman receiver. Well, he's not a freshman anymore. He's a sophomore now.
Yeah, you also got Amari Kelly, who transferred in from MTSU. He's a solid receiver.
So listen, we're gonna do some big things. Y'all watch out. Willie, watch out.
Okay, I've taken note.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam, watch out.
I am
gonna
watching.
go in the scrolls.
I am watching. Adam in Portland wants to know, Derek, who was the nicest player you ever played with, and who was the craziest?
The nicest player I've ever played with. I mean, Chris and Baron Wortham. Baron more than Chris. Baron Wortham. I don't think I ever
Nicer
heard.
than Chris Sanders.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard that man say a bad word about anybody. Baron Wortham. I swear, he would hit you, and he still would be nice. He was a linebacker, but he was middle linebacker
on the 99.
on the 99.
Titans
Yeah, this
Super Bowl
dude
team.
was the nicest man in the world. It was like Kevin Carter was pretty nice too. Kevin Carter's a good
So
dude.
you're saying Baron Wortham was not like the Jack Lambert,
Nah,
Dick Butkus, you know, the
he was mean. Now he was
snarling.
LT.
He was,
No, he was
that.
nah.
Okay.
He was mean though but he was nice. He was the mean nice. I guess I don't know.
Did he flip a switch during the game? Or was he just,
during the game he would
you
flip
have
a
to,
switch.
right?
Yeah,
You
but
can't
he
be
was
that
just
nice on the field.
But he still would, even when he flipped the switch, he still would. He would say something to you, but you wouldn't think like you would take it as okay. Well, thank you. Like he'll call you, like he'll say something to you, and it wouldn't even be mean. It's kind of like I remember, you know, people give stories about Reggie White. They will say Reggie White would say "bless you" after he knocked you down. Like, what can you say to a man when he say "bless you"? After you can't say anything to him. It's like, okay, thank you, I appreciate it, sir. And you get back up. The craziest person I played with. Oh man, gosh, Perry Phoenix was a little off. Yeah. No, you know who was really off, and I love him to death. I love him like a brother. Blaine was crazy. Blaine, when he got on the field, I'm not talking about off the field, because he's the nicest guy off the field. But when he got on the field, something was wrong with him. Like seriously, I've told y'all this story. He and I got into a fight the day before the Super Bowl. We were doing 2 minute.
I don't think I've ever heard this.
Yeah, so we were doing 2 minute. We were in the in the old Falcon Stadium, and the group that I was with, myself, Kevin, and Joey and Isaac Berg. It was really myself, Joey, and Isaac, because Kevin was a starter back then. So our scout team, that would be like, that's how we got prepared for the game, because we didn't get a lot of reps. So that's how we got prepared for the game. So we would give it to them, and that made them better too. But we would give it to them. But this day, we was just killing them. And I don't think Blaine liked it too much. We was killing them. And Blaine, something happened. And me and Blaine got into it. And then he ripped my helmet off and threw it at me. I saw nothing but red. I mean, I saw nothing but red. They had to keep us away from each other. But the great part about that is when it was all said and done, no lie, Jeff Fisher grabbed both of us and we both walked out, said we're sorry, ended it, and it was fine. And like Blaine's my dude. Blaine is my dude. But that dude, something's wrong with him. Like something's wrong with him. And I would tell them that to his face. Something's wrong with him.
Is he somewhere else telling somebody something's wrong with D-Mace?
He probably is.
Something's wrong with him. So in the different circles,
it was the night before it was the practice before the Super Bowl game.
Golly.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this wasn't a kerfuffle. It wasn't just a kerfuffle.
It wasn't a kerfuffle. I think if we could have got to each other, it would have been just a fight between he and I. If we could have got,
that could have been a huge story the day of the Super Bowl.
At both of us, if we could have got at each other, it would have been a fight.
And if Twitter existed back then, people would say,
yes.
Why are we making such a big deal out of this? Football players fight. It's not a story.
Well, I mean, it would have been a story the day before the football. I mean, the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
I kid.
What, a Friday before the Super Bowl.
Okay, two quick texts here. B-Man says, on your Michigan State prediction, that was such a hot take that I almost spit my water out in the car.
Be careful, B-Man. Be careful.
And Adam in Portland chimed back in and said, from Willie crying for Vandy and Derek's delusional Michigan State takes, I'm on pins and needles to see what absurd thing Adam will say before you guys depart. Well, we do have one more segment, so keep listening, Adam. Who knows what I will say? 615-737-1025. It's our final preseason edition of Take It to the Bank, because next week the competition starts for real. But we will do one more Take It to the Bank warm-up coming up next to wrap up the week. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan, 1025 The Game. D. Mace, Vingan, and Donick 1025. The Game. Willie Donick, Derek Mason, Adam Vingan here with you. One more segment this week, and it's time to take it to the bank with our friends at F&M Bank. Less worry, more living. F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. So this is our final take it to the bank tune-up because the competition starts for real next Friday. Now that college football season is upon us, we are not going to participate in week 0 because we are not sickos. But the real competition will start next week. Silly underdog picks will also start next week. The plan is Wednesday at 5:20. That is the plan as of now. We will update you next week. But Silly Underdog Picks returns to D-Mace, Vingan, and Donick.
Don't I get the number 1 pick because I finished last?
Well, that's a good question. Does Chris Sanders get the number 1
No,
pick as the defending champion?
Because I didn't get the number 1 pick as the defending champion.
I don't remember.
No,
what happened
Willie,
a year
no.
ago.
It goes in reverse.
Because I complained that. I complained about that.
You
Yeah.
have complained, and your complaint was
Okay,
heard
so Derek
and denied.
So Derek will have the first pick.
Now I have
you
the
get the
first
first
pick.
pick.
Yes.
Yes. So we will get to that next week. So Silly Underdog Picks next Wednesday. But we do have a college football game, a real college football game to bet on here. And we will do that. Connor, you can participate as well. In Dublin, Ireland, tomorrow morning, the 22nd ranked Cyclones of Iowa State versus the 17th ranked Wildcats.
Good game.
Of Kansas State. Kansas State favored -3. Willie Donick, your choice.
I got to go with the guy right out of the movies. Right out of the movies. Is this not a character from a movie that you've seen at some point in your life? Rocco Becht. Quarterback. Rocco Becht for the Cyclones. I'm just going with that. I am going to enjoy this game. The
Willie's taking the upset.
These games are usually pretty good in Dublin. They have good. It's a beautiful stadium. I've actually been there to sit, not for a game, but, and of course, they're much more interested in hurling than they are in football. But they do really get into it. Notre Dame's been there a bunch of times, but they've gotten to where they've gotten a pretty competitive game each year. They get 2 ranked teams here. I'm going to go with the Cyclones.
Okay.
And the points.
Derek Mason.
Hey, I am taking K-State.
Okay.
And Avery Johnson.
Not the
former basketball
NBA
player.
coach.
Exactly. Or a basketball player.
Okay. I will also take the Cyclones to pull off the upset in Dublin. Give me the Cyclones. Again, Kansas State favored by 3. Connor Newt, your choice.
I actually have K-State making my college football playoff this year and winning.
Oh, I like that.
So I will take Avery Johnson, who has a nice head of hair.
He does.
I will take Avery Johnson and the Wildcats to win this one.
And this is always a good exercise in August, just to refresh your memory. See if you can name all of the teams in the Big 12 currently. I would not get 100%.
Nah. This is considered Farmageddon.
Isn't that the name of the rivalry,
Yeah,
Connor?
story rivalry, Farmageddon.
Farmageddon, baby.
Farmageddon.
Oh, wow. I like that. Farmageddon.
Taking it across the pond to Dublin, Ireland.
Taking
All right.
a farm across the
What was that?
Farmageddon.
Do you have a
That's not an Irish accent you're using.
No, it's not.
Do you have another hemorrhoid?
No, don't wish that on me. Don't you wish that on me.
That sounded very painful. Whatever
Don't
that
you
was.
wish that on me.
Whatever that was. Okay. The Tennessee Titans take the field in the preseason one last time. No, we are not going to bet on the game. Titans favored by 3, by the way, against the quote unquote Minnesota Vikings, because I don't know how many actual players are going to be playing for the Minnesota Vikings.
But will they have any actual Vikings?
May have a few.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Will there
they
be
don't have any actual Vikings?
Will there be a skull chant at Nissan Stadium tonight? Yes or no?
There will, but it just may not be audible by the greater masses at the game.
If I recall correctly, when the Vikings came to town last season, there was a massive amount of Vikings fans at that game.
Of course.
Viking Matt may be there.
Viking Matt on our text line might be there. Okay. We're not going to bet on the game here, but Willie, what is your prediction of any kind for Titans Vikings tonight at 7:00?
Okay. I'm intrigued about, again, like last week, which running back will make the impression, because it's really all we got, right? We're going to hear here's the other good thing is it's a national broadcast, so I think we're going to get better replays and better looks at some of the things if you're not going to the game than the two other broadcasts. But the running back position beyond Tony Pollard is one of them I'm really looking for. And we talked about the wide receivers earlier in the show, but I think it's the same thing. Is that guy, whether you believe it's Chestnut or the rookie Mullings or Mims, who's been around the block a few times but is sitting there on the roster trying to win a job, are those guys better than the number one running back who gets cut on Tuesday? I think is a big story. So they've got to play well, like regardless of who's in the game, etc. So I want to see what's happening there. So I'm going to say Julius Chestnut is going to have another hurrah. He's had big preseason games before. I think he's going to score a touchdown tonight.
Ooh,
Julius
Chestnut.
Chestnut.
Okay. You're right. That running back room led by Mims right now, he has the most yards rushing with 50. But you got Mullins, you got Jefferson, and Chestnut. I'm with you, the running back position, but I predict this. Jamar Jefferson will get a touchdown, and Julius Chestnut will rush over 75 yards.
Do you mean Van Jefferson?
No. Oh, Julius Chestnut. No, Jameer Jefferson. Yeah, the running back.
Oh, Jameer Jefferson.
Yeah, he had a really nice run for a touchdown
last week. Yeah,
I completely.
It's one of those where you're like,
I guess.
you're like, was that good? Like that looked pretty good.
It
like
looks like he has some. He has something to him.
He's got a little shake to him. A lateral quickness. I don't know if it really means anything.
Yeah, but he looked good doing it. So
all right. Well, I will play off my mistake there. Earlier today, I said I just want to see Cam Ward throw a touchdown. That's all I need to see, and he's gonna do it.
So if he's 1 for 9 but throws a touchdown, you'll be on Monday going, hey, that was a great game by Cam Ward.
Oh man,
we'll find out. Cam Ward, no, he'll not only just throw a touchdown. Van Jefferson is going to redeem himself, and Van Jefferson is going to catch the touchdown from Cam Ward.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. You went out on a limb on that one,
Connor.
I will do this. I think Cam Ward scores a touchdown tonight, but not in the passing capacity. I think Cam Ward scrambles inside the end zone for a rushing touchdown.
Okay.
All right. That one.
So we'll see what happens. Titans.
Didn't Will Levis run in one of those ones? It just got
he dove.
Absolutely
and he
smashed near the goal line last year. Like, whoa.
It was a sign of things to come.
We should have known.
But they're like, oh, he's tough, man. He's willing to. It's like, it's
he
the
dove
preseason.
in. He got through there. He had to score, man.
Well,
I don't know if he scored or not, but it was inside the 10. It was close.
I don't think he scored on it.
Oh, okay.
So,
but we were all talking about that going, that's not.
Was it worth it, Will Levis? Was it?
At the time, it was.
But the Titans and Vikings will wrap up the preseason tonight, 7:00, a nationally televised primetime game. Take that, Mike North.
Who's announcing for CBS tonight?
I don't know. I'll have to look
probably
that
their
up.
third team, second.
I don't know.
Who would be their second team?
Iron Eagle, right? Is their second team?
Iron Eagle, yeah.
Iron Eagle, he does some of the Titans.
He's worthy of the first team.
Exactly. I like Iron Eagle.
I will have to find out who is calling this game. Only Willie Donlick would be curious about which
I don't know
CBS
about
broadcaster.
That. We like when we get the good announcers, right?
Yeah, I do.
Intrigued.
I'm looking to
always
find
looking to learn.
We'll see if I can find it before the end of the night. The end of the show, which is in like 4 minutes.
Well,
so
at the end of the night, you should be able to find out because you watch the game.
That is true. That is true. Meanwhile, Connor Newt and Parker Kelly are in the figurative bullpen because Game Blitz is coming up next.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Connor Newt
High
and Parker
school.
Kelly.
Is this the return of the Game Blitz?
It is.
Oh, no doubt.
In all its glory.
Hey, Connor, did you hear about my high school story?
I did not, D-Man.
Okay, retail. I can't believe that didn't come up during the.
Did you tell your basketball story where you scored on the wrong?
Oh yeah, I
move?
scored.
That's come up before.
Yeah, that's come up before.
But let's not do that to teammates right now.
I heard about Willie playing both sides of the ball, but not offense and defense. You're the kicker.
Yes, I was the punt, pass, and kick out, quarterback, punter, kicker.
There you go.
What a role.
Never got hit in practice.
So, first game of the year. It's a close game. We were playing Henry Ford. This is my first game ever playing organized football. It was third, fourth down. we had to score. I think it was 4th down. And T'Challa, who was our quarterback at the time, T'Challa drops back and see a young Ricky. That's what they used to call me, Ricky. That's what my family called me.
Okay.
But my boys call me D Fry.
D Fry, which then
D
moved into
nice,
D
yeah.
nice.
D nice, D Fry. But I'm to the right side, going north. We're going north. Bam, he drops back. I run. Phew. That ball comes sailing. Catch it, fell in the end zone. And that started what I have become.
So is that when you knew, like, yeah, I like this sport?
That's when I knew I liked the sport.
I can do this.
That one pass was like, okay, cool.
And so
This
when
is
you
how
showed
it's
up on Monday to class, it was like, oh, that catch you made.
was
D nice. That was great.
It was like, okay, the legend starts. And then, but what comes with that catch? More responsibility and more coverage.
I could see Spider-Man with great power.
With great power comes
great
great responsibility.
And D Mace was all over it.
Yeah, Ricky, D Nice, D Fry, whatever you want to call me. And my family
Why
was
was
there.
it Ricky? Why was it Ricky?
It's short. Well, that's what my family, because it's short for Derek. So
Yeah, Rick. Okay.
So my mom just added a Y at the end to call me Ricky. There was a funny story though. One of my uncles, he never knew my real name. Never knew, and I didn't know it, and my mom didn't know it. Like you should know your nephew's real name. So this one I had got when I was in Baltimore, and my mom was like, well, I'm going to visit Rick. He up in Baltimore. We're going to the game because the first game of the season when I got there. And my uncle just she said he kept like, who is Rick? And she was looking at him like, what do you mean? Like, who was, like your nephew, fool? Derek.
So moral of the story,
she said, I'm going to see Derek. Because everybody called me Ricky. She said, I'm going to see Derek. And he was like, who is Derek?
Who's Derek?
It's like your nephew, fool. Ricky, that's who it is. So yes.
So everybody have fun. Go to your high school game.
Yes.
And listen to 102.5 The Game. Because this brings back memories for me. Because when I was a younger broadcaster, I had that shift for a few seasons there. I was like, oh man, I can't go out on Friday night. I was young, hey, I got to go out on Friday night. No, you got to do the high school. But I learned to absolutely love that. I knew all the nicknames for the teams now. The district has changed a million times since then. But it is fun, man. People calling in, talking about their teams.
I am so nervous, but so excited.
Oh, you're
going to
nail it.
It's
so
much
great.
fun.
Yeah,
we're going to be on the air till 11.
So y'all going across
the entire
the state.
90 plus games tonight, D-Mace.
Man.
And Chase is calling a game, right?
He is. Yes, he'll be on the air with Coach Bubba Spears calling Maplewood and McGavick.
Okay, what's the big game? What is the big game tonight?
The biggest game, in my opinion, CPA is playing Oakland.
Oh,
over
Oakland
in
always have a
Murfreesboro.
good team. Yeah,
and it's not too hot out. This is going to be a good setting.
CPA is supposed to have a good team, don't they?
Those are two teams that always have it together, right there, Oakland and CPA.
Nothing notes the end of summer better than the start of high school football.
What about the schools on the east side?
On the east side?
Yeah.
Oh, East Nashville is. I assume they're going to be good again. They're always.
They always got some athletes.
They are state contenders most years.
All right, I've
they
got my
beautiful
rooting interest
new
then.
turf field, great setting. People love watching from the hill behind the.
Shout out to Pearl Cone.
Yes,
Shout out to Pearl Cone.
They're going to take down Chris Sanders.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Pearl Cone.
Honestly, that's become one of the most fun
Pearl
early
Cone's a
season
good team.
games.
Yeah.
Year in, year out. Pearl Cone against NBA. They play each other a lot. That's fun. Good stuff.
You're rooting against Chris Sanders.
I like Pearl Cone because I've been there and I spoke with the team and met the coaches. So I gotta,
but also you want to stick it. To
Chris
I
want to stick it to Chris too. Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you have the opportunity,
yeah,
why not?
Exactly.
But that'll do it for us this week. Game Blitz with Connor Newt and Parker Kelly is coming up next. We had a wonderful week with you. We hope you did with us as well. We will talk to you 3:00 Monday.
Be love on your people. Have a safe, blessed, wonderful weekend. I love you. We love you. Peace.